Good mayn.
Gotta get those levels right.
I'm a sick mayn. I go out. I don't even.
Here we go.
Man, swear.
Oh, fuck, blew it. Ready?
Man, swear. I mean, man, swear.
This time. Third time lucky. Go.
Man, swear.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers, people.
Hey,
Right,
cheers.
get those microphones right up to that.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
Cheers, big ears.
Cheers,
I look.
Travolta lookalike.
Briggsy reckons I look like 60-year-old Jon Travolta, where he's got no hair. I look
Didn't
weird,
know-
eh? Give me
I
some
didn't know
feedback,
Gold.
Hodge.
I
What
didn't
do you
know Jade
reckon?
the Goldie had a twin, eh?
Jada Goldie's got no twins.
Oh, I just had Mum's home cooking, and it was Gringo's, the Goldie's dad's
Fish.
fish. Oh man, it was good.
Was
You
it?
know, home cooking,
Oh, I do.
oversized plates.
Get that
peas.
microphone.
Oh,
You can have
okay.
it. It's about there.
Oh,
You want to have it about there.
Okay.
Joel,
We'll learn. You'll teach you. We'll
it's kind of
teach you the
weird. I don't
ways.
feel
natural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
yeah,
"Oh,
this
that's
is
a
like-
weird thing. It
it's
does
like-
get more natural
Okay.
as the time goes on. Skulls is just.
You freeze up, eh?
And then I said to him, "How about that button?"
So
Because
Hodjo.
weird shit does. Sorry to butt in.
No, go for it.
Rosie went on. Was it yours or did Rosie come on?
No,
this?
we went on the Joel and Tim.
What a fucking weird fruitcake. Like, I love that guy, but he is. I didn't know he was that fucking crook.
About all the fruit fucking and shit. That was a bit weird, eh? I love
But was it the? I never knew about that stuff. Did you?
No.
what did he call it?
Was, what, the shimmy or the. I don't know about the shimmy. Did you try the shimmy? Just out of
My life.
Yeah, but you heard about it now. Have you tried it since?
No,
Oh.
a spud.
No, a shimmy and fruit fucking is different things.
Oh, so what was him rooting
Well,
the
you got
spud?
to pay attention to the podcast, mate. What are you?
Well, I skipped because I was dry reaching through some of it. Fucking Joel talking about coming inside a fucking cream donut or something. Like, "Wah!"
Did he
Skip,
actually?
skip,
Did he?
My
Did he
daughter
actually
was like,
fuck one?
I just picked her up.
What'd you say, Hodgie? We're going to have issues with hearing you. So,
Yeah,
mate.
Did he actually fuck one in the back of Blanche's? Like he fucked a cream
Oh, I
donut in the
think
back of Blanchfield's.
He fucked a lot of things in the back
Yeah.
of Blanche's, eh?
Do you ever end up there after a big night out with him?
No.
Oh, it was dope. You just go there 3 a.m. and just fucking eat
And just
everything.
feast yourself.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, how good. Okay, so officially, hello everyone. Welcome to Fu Man Swoo. It's back. We're back.
Oh,
2023.
I was hoping for the music and stuff. Where's the?
Oh yeah. Fu Man Swoo. Ooh, yeah. Ah.
Where's he going now?
I had to put my drink down.
I'm just getting my vape. Hodjo, stop
Oh.
being Hodjo, have you had your nap? Are you grumpy? I'm just on the ground because I haven't got any
Hodjo
tables.
goes angry if I lean over this one.
No, I think Hodjo's getting angry at me. He doesn't
Oh.
get angry at the guests. It's
Oh,
always
okay.
me. He doesn't know when to like keep his inside voices to himself.
Oh, okay.
Look at him. He's getting shitty.
The little devil
Look
on
at
his
him.
shoulder.
See how
So
shitty he is already?
I'm the one that gets shitty at you. You triggered
Yes,
like
mate.
instantly.
I never get grumpy, mate. You know that. So 2023, this is our first ep. So
Is it?
that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Thanks, mate. We're gonna
Pretty honoured.
kick things off with a fucking rosa. Do you
I
like?
wish
vape?
I
'Cause
wish
I'm
I was
a vape.
I
there.
fucking hate that. I hate everything about it. I hate the way dudes look like they're sucking. Oh, sucking on a little cock. No.
You've never been a smoker though, eh? Did you smoke? Do you used to smoke ciggies like when you're on the piss?
No.
No. Clean.
So can you smoke a ciggy on the piss and then just not pick it up, or do you struggle through the week? Is that what that's for?
No, like I just like a little hit of nicotine. I've never been a
Do we
full.
look at each other like this?
You can.
I don't know what to
You
do.
can.
I'm looking at
You can
Hodgie.
look. You can do a bit of both. Like look at me, and look at the wall, and then look at
I
Hodjo.
thought this is going to be
Look
fun
over
and
there.
easy. It's fucking
Is it a bit
awkward
stressy?
as fuck.
Is it awkward?
Yeah. Down here's a bit stressy. I was like, yeah.
Wait, have you got butterflies?
I have got butter.
I'm a little bit sweaty. I had a little bit of technical difficulties just getting everything sorted, and now I've sweated like a lot. But it's natural for me.
I'm feeling insecure because I had to borrow a t-shirt and it's tight as fuck.
Oh fuck!
You're fat as fuck, so that means I'm even fat.
No, I have got a. That's a medium. I should have given you a large. You're not a medium, are you? Sorry. Do you want me to give you a large?
No, I'm all right.
What happened?
Doesn't
Why
get
do you got
much.
to? Why'd you borrow a t-shirt? Did you?
I went
guys
to take
like-
the ultimate selfie at the 12 mile on the way in and slipped off the rock
Ah.
and fell in the water.
Oh, I wish I was on the coast today. The weather just looks epic.
Oh, dude, I was just telling big J.K. Rollins here how good it is to come home sometime when it's perfect like this.
Yeah.
Mate, we've had
Hello.
nuts weather.
How long are you on the coast for, Briggsy?
Going back Thursday. What are we now? Monday.
Monday.
This is super
cool.
awkward.
Is it?
I'm sorry for everyone watching. I could just get up and walk out any minute.
Well, maybe.
Joel,
I think
Joel
it's-
like do an intro for Briggsy. Who are we talking to here?
Oh yeah, this is going to be
Yeah.
more awkward for you. So everybody, this is Dean. What is your middle name? Do you have one?
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Dean Anthony Briggs, also known as Briggsy, also known as the Godfather of the Blaketown Bodyboarders Club, actually, among many other things that we might touch on in this chat.
I think that's where the butterflies are coming from.
What your dark secrets over the years.
The crook shit that could come out.
I know,
But
but
the lies that were spun, I don't know if I'm going to remember them all. You could
That's
just
okay.
go, hey, you told me this.
what lies that you've told over the years,
The
or
serious spin of yarns that I have told throughout my life.
I love it. At least you know that you can
What was
do that.
Oki's favourite saying, like, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. It's
Oh
like,
my
that
God.
guy's
I
genius.
should have asked a few of the crews some of the classic Briggsy stories that they've heard. I'm trying to recall. I remember you told me the tallest tale once, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You know who lit me up though?
Who?
Fuck. Now I've forgotten his name. His brother was a bodyboarder. He was a surfer.
Well, that narrows it down.
Cobbo. Fuck. The saying was he backdoored a barrel at Blaketown with a keg with sunglasses on and come out.
With a what? Keg.
I'll remember his name. Tall dude. He actually owned a Ripkill store in the North Island for a while.
Jesus, and he's from Greymouth.
No, he come down with his brother,
Oh,
surfer, Ben White, him, mates. Come on. His little brother was
I
a
need more
bodyboarder.
intel. His little
Damn
brother
it.
was a bodyboarder, and he's
Yep.
from the North Island.
Yep.
Fuck that. Still need more info.
Back dog, pig dog, and holding a keg with sunglasses on. He had the best stories. And I was like, oh, I've been outdone.
Oh,
Yeah.
you found your match.
I'll insert it
Your
here.
match.
Hodjo will insert.
Yeah.
the two.
Yeah, insert the clip of the guy getting
Someone
barreled
out
with
there on
the
the
key.
So Hodjo's the producer of the show, so like he really loves editing. So if you can just like reference
I-
lots of things.
I actually do like a bit of editing myself too.
I'm being a
I
little
know you do.
facetious here.
Yeah, Briggsy, you got a pretty cool Instagram with your little motorbike edits and going for little fishing trips and surf missions and stuff. It's cool,
This
man.
fella over here to my right was just saying that he's like getting. I don't know if this is.
You can't say that.
Oh,
loud.
shit, really, yeah.
Oh,
Sure, edit it out.
Blur.
and
no, edit it
we're
out.
back.
Joel, I'll edit it out.
I didn't
Just tell
say
me.
anything. I didn't say anything too bad. I didn't say any names or anything.
No, we're sweet. Just don't. You can't say it out.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, no,
you
just
like
tell,
bikes.
tell,
You
I
like
do like
bikes.
motorcycles.
tell me, and I'll edit it out. I promise.
Okay. The company's called, and they. I'm not saying it.
Damn
Oh,
it.
Can't get me that way.
He's too
Anyway, yeah. I started the Blaketown Bodyboarding Club
I just
many
There you
years
go.
ago.
once upon a time.
Yeah.
Go straight into it.
Do you want to? Should we start the story?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
That's a great. I love that yarn, and I know. I'm sorry that we've already chatted about this about 15. No, it wasn't 15 years ago when I did my Blaketown doco interview with you, but that was a while ago. So please feel free to repeat yourself
How long
because
ago
I
was
love
that?
it. What 7?
Yeah, it'd be a long time ago.
7 years ago. Anyway, Dean's going to tell his origin story of the Blaketown Bodyboarders Club, and now go.
Fuck this. I was playing the league, and it actually sucks because you get smashed to pieces by people, and it's freezing cold. And we're at Cobbo one day, and I was up on the bank, and I was like, "The surf's pumping,"
Hmm.
and they're like, "But you had to be in a club." The old man wanted you to be in a club, and I was like, "Well, basically, imagine if we just surfed every weekend then." And that was the start of it, really.
Yeah. So you.
What year was that, Briggsy?
Huh?
What year was that, you reckon?
Oh, come on, man.
Well, it's got to be 97 or something, 6 or 7.
Well, I was 15, I think. I only just started driving.
Shit.
Had a car, maybe.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Wasn't
fucking
that
long
young?
ago.
Wasn't that? Was it really like 93? When were you? Because you're how many
Wow.
years older than?
It's my birthday actually on Wednesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you 49 or
Yeah, fuck.
what are you going to be?
I honestly have one thing about me. I can never recall years.
Oh,
I moved to Aussie in 2000, I think.
can recall that.
Well, I
That's
wanted to be
about-
there for the millennium or whatever that thing was.
I moved to Aussie 2001.
Yeah, I
think
think
it was.
we'd been there for a little bit, hey, and then you
Mm.
rocked up.
Yeah.
You wait for us to get settled and get a house and get stuff. and then
Yes,
go
you come over. And
Yeah, got a
couch surf.
couch. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, what? Like, there's one thing that after listening to the Frankie episode where I was totally disrespected the entire time. Briggsy, there's one thing I've been doing since we've started Fu Man Swoo is I've actually got a bit of a elephant memory as well, like Frankie, but I actually hold back on using my elephant memory when I'm doing the podcast because I don't want to make Uncle Joel's feel bad about his goldfish brain. So
Dude, I have the worst memory
Mine's pretty bad.
ever.
Yeah.
Frank has always said that he hates listening to the show because I just blow
Butcher
so many
everything.
stories.
I'm just gonna from now on. I'm just gonna start like because I can pinpoint dates, like years,
Jeez.
months, days, like so well. Like I've
Wow.
sort of got that, but like I think it's kind of weird as well. So
Well,
yeah,
I think I ended up going to Bromley's, Tim's, and just telling them. The weird thing with me, I grew up in Barrytown.
Correct.
Yeah, and I went to Barrytown school the whole way to intermediate.
Mm.
Fuck, we used to go into manual. Were you ever?
I was at the Grammath Intermediate.
Yeah, we were
Mm.
just lambs to the slaughter. You get off the bus and all you fucking city kids were like, "Here they are! Here's the fucking
Here's the
country
rural.
bumpkins."
Here's the rural kids.
We used to just run into manual. Yeah. So I'd never.
So you
My
did
brother
you,
surfed, but I'd never nothing about bodyboarding. Didn't know anything until I got to high school.
did you not even go to intermediate?
No, we were
Oh.
Barrytown school all the way
then
through.
and then straight to Grey High.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
And we only had channel 1. So I got to Grey High and people going about Friends and Seinfeld and Nikes. Like, what the fuck is this? Is just a whole different universe. Dudes had fucking hairy legs that were in my class. Gareth Cook and Dane Johns. We got changed for PE and they were just covered in hair. And I was like, what the fuck? This is out of control.
Were you a late bloomer with the puberty?
Yes, yeah. I didn't know anything about it.
What puberty?
I got real angry at mum and dad like when I was 15. No, the 6 ed class.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, a tablespoon of cum comes out, and everyone's like laughing at stuff. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, I had known nothing. And everyone's like giggling because
Oh
they
my
knew everything
God.
already.
Sixth
It's like,
ed of high
dad was like,
school.
do you know what? Yeah. I didn't know nothing. Just, yeah.
so how did you, Briggsy? How did you start boogie boarding? Like when did you start? Did you
There's
start
an
at
infamous
Blaketown?
story on that Barrytown on the school bus.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you did tell me this. This is good. Carry on.
see, my name is so bad. What's his name? Pro surfer, Runanga kid. Nearly a pro surfer.
Jai.
Jigger Mayn.
Jai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jigger Mayn would read magazines, surf magazines on the bus, and I'd never seen one. And I just sat down beside him, and I can't remember how it happened, but he was like, "Oh, that's D-Bar Kira," which I had no idea then. I was like, just from a photo, there was no background. I was like, "There's no way." And I'd flick a page and go, well, "What's that wave?" And he's like, "Oh, that's pipe." I was like, "There's no way. There's fucking no way you
That
can
you know
tell.
this,
This
yeah.
is just a wave." And yeah, he thought it was hilarious. And then it wasn't. Fuck. How did I get into bodyboarding is the question today. This is terrible.
It's a good question.
It
Keep going with it.
was meeting. I was the full outcast at school from being a country bumpkin. I think I had a briefcase. Mum gave me a briefcase as a backpack. It was
Oh,
fucking
you were a
just a
briefcase wanker.
Oh,
It was just a nightmare. Like you just picked on and
did you get bullied?
a
little bit.
Did Tim ever tell you about his fuckers list? He had a fuckers
Oh,
list.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
the
I
fuckers
had
list.
that. Oh man, yeah. It's funny because you become friends with them. Like Dwayne Todd would torture me,
Would he?
and then he just never grew, and then you just beat the fuck out of him. Like, all these, yeah. But I can understand why. I was such a nerd. Like, imagine not knowing what Seinfeld was, or Friends, or Nike shoes were. Or...
Fuck. Yeah, you lived a real isolated life, eh?
But yeah,
Until high school.
I went to a town party with Brad and
Microphone.
Wade Knowles.
Yeah.
Knowlesies.
Oh, yeah.
I'd never been to a town party before.
Ooh, first one.
Yeah, and it was somewhere around here. 'Cause I
Cobbies.
lost my virginity.
Hey. Let's
I had
talk
the
about
last.
that.
I had the last beer, and was just sipping it, like bum puffing, because I'd never drunk before. And this chick sat on my lap and wanted it, and Brad's like, "Oh, he'll give it to you if you pash him." And I was like,
Nice.
"Yeah." Anyway, come back from the beach, but the story got around that I had sex with another chick, and then Rosie and everyone thought I was cool, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in, boys."
Oh,
Yeah, so I got
was
some
it-
street cred.
Ah.
And
So,
then
yeah, losing your V plates got you into the crew almost.
it was an older chick too, and she was pretty good looking. I was like, yeah.
You have a penchant for that, I might say.
I did take a bit of a shining to it.
You definitely did on the Gold Coast, that's for sure.
That's the only bad thing about coming to the coast. That you talk to a person in the pub, and you're like, oh, what's this guy's last name? What did he say?
What does he know?
Yeah, what's his wife? What's
Oh,
your
yeah.
Jim is his name? Ah, nothing. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
So yeah,
I digress.
so yeah,
Wait,
Jai with the magazine on the bus, and then after that, you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get into this."
Yeah, met those crew, and they were body. Mum would never let me surf because she didn't want a surfboard in her car. She's like, no
Ah.
salt. And I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So I had a Scott bodyboard with no slick
No
on the
slick.
bottom.
Oh,
And
foamy.
then,
So
yeah.
foamy.
And then I seen these kids at the Punakaiki beach come down with slick bottoms. And I was like, hot dang.
So where did you first start surfing then? Just around
Just in
Barrytown
the
and
shorey
Peony
at the
and-
Barrytown. Yeah.
What,
and
straight
then-
out the front.
yeah, I didn't even know what a roll or a spin or anything was.
So you just whitewash muck. Yeah, just
Yeah.
and that
No wetty.
Because
Oh,
what
no, front zip wetty.
I've always wanted to know: is there any good ways when you just go down that road?
Oh,
No. I mean,
oh no, okay.
from Barrytown, like you hang a left at Barrytown and
No,
you keep going straight. It's just a big beach.
It's a big, there's heaps of guts. So you just
Yeah,
jump in and you
find it.
go on. But
Right.
17 mile. That's basically where I learned to surf
Cool.
and where I could only go left
Oh,
on the drop because it's a left-hand break.
Yeah.
And then Blaketown come.
Where did old mate go? Where did you go, mate?
I just had to go say goodnight to Tui.
Oh,
No.
that's cute. That's cute. So you're saying you started surfing around
Started
Coast
bodyboarding.
Road, bodyboarding. Sorry.
Yep. And it wasn't until I got my license really that I could go in and see everybody surfing and bodyboarding, and it was just next level to me. And then I got introduced to Riptide, and it was just remember Riptides coming out? You had
It was over. It was over after that,
the
eh?
new Riptide coming
Yeah.
out, and if some had a CD or it was
DVD on the May.
yeah. Who was around the Mad Mile with the addict?
The Bruces.
The Bruces.
Yeah.
You'd go up to the attic and watch Eppo versus someone big ear comp,
Yeah,
or you'd see
yeah.
a new move, and Rosie would show you this VCR. And you're
Yeah.
like, what? Spro? You can spin and then roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on.
It was on.
Yeah, it was epic.
Fuck, so origin stories. I love the origin.
I know, I'm all over the
chats.
place.
No, it's so good. That's part of my role is to
Bring it back in.
bring it back into
Get more gin.
semblance of a conversation.
You say poopy bat?
I just thought team sports sucked.
Yeah.
And I thought, imagine if we just surfed every week. Oh, hello.
Can you
Hi,
say
Tui.
poopy bat?
Poopy butt. Yeah, that's me.
Is John and you said?
I've got no hair now.
No,
I
I
probably
like
look weird.
All right. Can you say good night? Say
Good night.
Good bye
Good
bye.
night.
it. Good night.
Cute. And that's Tui's first appearance on the podcast. This is the first time I've had 4 guests.
Really?
This is insane.
I'm annoyed that I can't relax.
Oh, really? Yeah. that's so funny. You're just gonna be all jittery like the whole
We
time.
can get rid of
mate.
this thing and just talk.
I know, but you can't.
I know.
Now I've lost my vape.
More alcohol.
Well, here's another one. So, well, we've got a couple of mixed takes. I thought we'll ease you into that, Briggsy.
Or maybe you want to explain. Do you even know what a McPake's take is?
No.
We're gonna do this now, are we?
I
Early
don't know.
on.
We'll get him eased into it. If you don't want to talk about yourself the whole time, buddy. What about?
No, he does.
No.
you know, Briggsy, he
I just go
definitely
around in
will.
circles. I don't even know where you want me to. You should just ask questions, probably.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
I'm ready to roll. I want to know because we're talking about the Blaketown Bodyboarders Club. You jumped straight in there.
Yeah.
So we're just sort of
Well, before that,
we're getting
grew up
we're
in
getting up to
Barrytown.
that. Yeah.
the big bazz of town. Took the school bus, started learning things, meeting people. Because Barrytown's so small, I think the best thing about the bodyboard or surf community is there's no judgment really at all, is there? Like you're just sort of accepted.
Yes.
Especially if you can pull in and take a beating.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of hazing and stuff, but it was
I was about to say there's a lot of judgment on if your legs are not crossed back in the day.
oh man.
Was there a lot of was when you started surfing at Blaketown? So it sounds like started doing it when you were around about 15, when you're like you're driving to town and that?
Yeah, that's when I could really started. Like I was
Yeah.
just whitewashing, and then I think I seen a picture of someone doing a roll. Because Mum would never let me buy the magazines at Paper Plus.
Oh,
So then I did my first roll in the corner at Punakaiki,
nice.
and I was, can you remember that feeling?
Oh yeah, I'll
Oh.
never forget my first roll.
And it would have been a whitewash. It would have sucked. It was just
Yeah.
like, holy
Yeah.
shit! I just fucking rolled upside down and stuck it.
My first roll, my first spin. Now it's the spotlight's on me. Give you a little breather. My first spin, because me and
Not
DeGoldie,
hand dragging.
no proper spin.
Yeah.
Because me and DeGoldie were hand dragging for a while there, and then the race was on, so it was like, okay, me and Jade, who's going to do the first roll? Who's going to do the first spin? So we were super competitive.
Can Goldie do a spin?
Nice. So I'll never forget this day, and I did my first spin, and he did his first roll on the same day because we're both at the same level.
But you hadn't done either or.
No.
Classic.
I know. So I did a spin, and he saw it, and he's like, "Yes, good work." And then I came in, and he was out still trying to, one up me. So he did a roll, but I pretend I didn't see it. That old chestnut. So he comes in all pumped. He goes, "Oh, I just did my first roll. Did you see it?" I was like, "No, what?"
Oh, you bastard.
Oh, that's such a weird little tall poppy thing. It, like
I
hate
know,
that, eh?
but I did.
No.
You know the
Nah.
good part about that is
What?
you can never have an ego on the coast, hey, with our crew.
Fuck no, we got
Oh.
chopped down. So
You'll just be starting to feel good about yourself, and
Oh my
someone will see
God.
it a mile away and just fucking shoot you down
Like,
so hard.
tall poppy syndrome was next level.
Do you think
growing
it's
up
tall
here.
poppy or just shit talking hazing?
I don't,
Like you didn't hate on
no,
Gooch,
there was,
obviously.
No, there was no hate
No,
involved.
but it was just
It was just, I think, super competitive. Maybe,
yeah.
And maybe it's not tall poppy. It's just didn't want anyone to get above you or best you. At
No, you
anything.
could never.
Yeah,
Didn't
like-
matter
like
what
s-
you did in life, you're always going to get shot
Mm.
down. Sorry,
like super competitive, eh? Because who were the main guys like out in the water when you first started out there, Briggsy? Because you would have started out there before Joel's
Yeah, fuck yeah.
and those guys. Like
yeah. Well,
Joel's
Rosie, Harvey, Loey was the who made the little boats, sailboats
Phil.
in the lagoon.
Oh.
No, not Loey.
It's
My
like-
brain's gonna go.
I can't-
Rosie will know who I'm talking about. He made model boats. He lived in Cobham too. Anyway,
Oh,
but Nathan, the slippery dog himself, Nathan Hull.
Nathan Hole.
Hated that guy. Man, could he take some woman home with him?
Could he? Was he a
Oh,
good player? Or was he on
this-
Holly?
The snake.
Was he?
He was slippery. He'd sly dog all the fucking inside waves at Blaketown and the woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan Holt. I'd love to get him on here. He's one of the Godfathers as well, one of the founding fathers.
Tall, who was the original tall man? Brendan Clark?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really know him. but
Yeah, there's
I
some
only heard of
OG
him.
dudes like that they weren't doing tech moves, but man, could they get slotted from the corner, just
Yeah.
all the way down in mega speed.
Yeah, like
Was
those are
that-
the guys.
Sorry, would that have been like in the early 90s that you would have
Yeah,
started
and it
around
was
there?
like they actually. I remember sitting down with Holt for a while and talking to him about it. And he's got photos of the late '80s of him surfing.
Ah,
Really?
Yeah, bro, like '89 and 1991. But they were just like full kooks, just doing rolls and spins and cutties. But their
They
generation,
charged, man.
Yeah,
They
like-
took some big waves.
like they were started just after the likes of the founding fathers, the Ben Sevos and the
mm.
the,
Who would have their
Stewarts.
inspiration been?
that was them. It was
Was it?
Sevo and Stewart
Yeah, but how would they have seen them? Riptide wouldn't have even.
through
Riptide would have been the back
Through
of Surfing
T-
Life magazine or something weird.
just through TV shows. They used to put the pipe. They used to put the pipe
Because they're not
cock
selling
on-
bodyboards in Greymouth, are they? At
What's
that
that?
time, you can't go into your local surf shop and buy bodyboards back then. Surely not.
No, but maybe the Riptides were around because the Riptides were around.
Well, it used to be in the back of Australian Surf Life magazine. Remember, it was like
That was
3
the first
pages
one.
at the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But then Riptide came out, and and you had a young Ben Severson and a young Mike Stewart, so they might have got the first couple of Riptides. and-
How did they get for being the Godfathers? Yeah, they just had the ultimate style.
Did.
Mike Stewart, yeah. I got giddy like 4 years ago when I was in Hawaii and I seen him and I was like, oh my god!
Did you?
And I was like,
Did you
Yeah,
see him?
40.
Sick.
Yeah, I think it took.
Oh, you did? I remember seeing photos of
Yeah,
him.
and then Hubbard was there as well. And I was like, oh my God.
Stay cool, stay cool.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike.
Didn't matter how old you
Hey,
get. You're like, fuck. Hey, man. We actually had a really nice, well, I enjoyed it. About 20-minute talk about the Blaketown Bodyboarder Club and all that. Yeah, I told him the origin stories and all that sort of stuff from seeing him and Eppo. And yeah, he was just super sweet. But he's still making boards over in Maui, I think, isn't it?
I don't
Over
know.
the other island.
It's science brand.
Yeah, he was just saying they fly over every time there's good swell and just surf pipe and then fly back. So he doesn't live on the
He's
in Oahu. Nah.
He's on the big island.
But Dorian, all those people I think live in Maui or
Yeah,
the big island because it's super cheap.
Like there's the super good guys like Albie Layer and who else? Matt Miola. They still live on Maui.
Oh yeah.
It's a big air island, like big high performance waves over there, Yeah. Yeah.
You can't have dead air.
Yeah, dead air.
It's all right.
Yeah, quick say something. So yeah, you moved into. Well, you didn't move into town. You just started coming into town more often once you got your license.
Yeah, I got expelled from Grey High.
Oh yes, tell us this story.
Mass block. You weren't a Grey High. You were Catholic, weren't you?
No, I was Grey High.
Oh yeah. Well, the mass block upstairs.
Yeah.
For some reason, me and Dane Johns and somebody else had stolen a 4 kg of flour from home ec. And I think we were going to put it on Mr. King's fucking car and wet it down so he couldn't drive away. But then old Mr. Chapman come walking down, the red-headed assholes.
He was a dick.
Yeah. Was he there when you were there?
Yeah, Jeppo was.
So he was walking. I was like, this would be funny if I just tip the flour out so it looks like it'll be snowing on him. Like, classic. And then Dane John thought it'd be really funny if you whacked it out of my hand and it dropped down, dislocated the shoulder.
No way.
So we bolted. And
he was deputy principal, I think.
Yeah. And then it was all, no one tell anyone who it was, where and then I got to class and it was basically go see the principal and that just ratted me out.
No.
And I had to sit under a tree on the field and my old man come pick me up. And he's like, so you're going on a fishing boat tomorrow, right? Yeah. I was like, what? He's like, you got expelled? I was like, no, they just told me not to come back. He's like, yeah, that's been expelled. It's like, you're on a fishing boat tomorrow. And I started crying. I was like, oh, do anything. He's like, you got 24 hours to get a job. I think Angela Bain got me a job at King's Hotel. So I was saved. Otherwise, I was going over the bar.
Fuck, that's so hectic. Is that what your old man did for a living?
Yeah, he ran Westfleet Fisheries.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, he's on that fishing money right here.
Fishing
He's
money,
on that
mate.
fishing money,
Fishing
mate.
money.
He's
I feel
on that
like
fucking fish money, mate.
I feel like Briggsy comes from a different time and because I just imagine like I remember I went over to my first time ever to Greymouth. My dad took me on the train. Me and my sister took us to Greymouth in like 1994 on the train just for the day. And I just remember it was like a different fucking world. It was just like there was a fish and chip shop on every corner. The fish and chip shops had those crazy
Captain
photos.
Hook's fish shop, Fish and Chippy. Did you ever go there?
No.
Yeah, Mum had Captain Hook's in Albert Street Mall.
Oh,
yeah. One of those would have been ours, Hodgie.
Yeah. We might have gone to it because, like, I remember we jumped on. Yeah, we went inside one, and you remember all those fish and chip shops back in the day had the all of the boats going over the bar, the photos.
Yeah.
And like as a kid, it was just so like entrancing, like just looking at it and be like, what the fuck? Like, and we
still some of those iconic, like the Cook Canyon hitting that wave.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. And like and I just remember I feel like when you started the club and started surfing, Greymouth was like this metropolis of fishing and coal mining. Like it was such a thriving sort of town in a way. It was super industrial, you know what I mean? But it was just like there was the pubs were packed, the river was full of coal barges and fishing boats. It was just a different world in a way.
Driving cracked down, and all the pubs disappeared. I reckon all those fucking amazing Coast Road, Tour, Ahara.
Yeah. There's still a few around, obviously, but a lot of them have fucking gone by the by.
Remember the opposition and what was the opposition? What was the other one?
House.
Pump House and the opposition. Yes.
What a name for a pub. The opposition.
Yeah.
The Oppo.
I forget who owned that.
I don't know. But so Dad said, righto, go get a job, and you got a job at King's. And
So I went surfing. Here's a funny king story.
yeah,
They used to have like the Asian tour bus come in.
Yeah.
And it was, you get to choose, what's that menu? Two from,
like a buffet, a set menu or something.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you eat pumpkin or chicken soup or right.
Yeah,
So,
set menu.
yeah, I'd been surfing all day, rock up there, and it was all chicken soup. And she's like, "Oh, take the soups out." And halfway across there, I just got the salt runs, and I went into the soup. And I looked up, and the tourists just didn't even see. And I was like, I just put it down.
What
And
was
walked
that?
off
I
backwards
missed-
and run over to that little thing where you can write orders down, and told Angela, and we just both had behind this thing and watched them go. Just
Salty.
Yes.
Like season that's
Yeah.
real good. This one.
I still feel bad to this day. What was that? 25 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kingsgate, and then you're cruising around town. And...
Everything was happening really quickly.
Yeah.
Like bodyboarding was exploding,
Accelerating.
basically. Wasn't
it
it?
was.
Yeah.
So what year? So what form were you in at school when you dipped out? Sixth form?
No,
Fifth form?
Yeah.
What
Fifth
are you,
form.
uneducated heathen?
Yeah, I can't
What's 4
spell
plus?
to this
What's 4 plus 8?
day. Take away the 3 pi 3.1.
Can you spell? Can you spell meniscus?
I can't spell fucking anything, and full stops and commas make no sense.
yeah.
Just write the
See?
fucking thing out.
Those extra 2 years at school really would have helped you, man. Really
Yeah.
would have helped you.
I'm still stumped on that. My 15-year-old son literally laughs at me,
Does he?
and he spell checks shit for me when I type it. He's like, yeah.
Dad's
It's like
dumb.
it's a different topic.
Dad's a dummy.
Yeah.
So okay, cool. So you dipped out at fifth form, and then so that would have been like what,
Going around in
92,
circles, aren't
92
we?
or 93. No, I'm bringing it back. You're ad libbing, and I'm just bringing it back on track, which is cool.
Yeah. So I got the Mitsubishi Galant,
What color was it?
white.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. And then
Which lasted forever until yeah. Anyway, we'll
what?
go back to that.
Okay.
Well, we're jumping ahead again. Yeah.
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay at home for? When did you move out? Did you ever move out?
Yeah, I had I would have moved out at 16 or 17 to Threadneedle Street.
Flat
Yeah.
styles, and then boom, Blaketown's right on your
It was on.
accessible.
Yeah.
Then you start hitting it heaps, eh? Because I guess did you? Oh, so
I feel bad, I think, for Hodgie. I think me and Bromley and Rosie scored Blaketown. Like, it never was bad. That corner it was just fucking wedge city.
yeah.
And then it was like, just as I was leaving, it turned into this weird, like for years it went weird, hey? Like, it was unsurfable, wasn't it?
Well, I bailed too.
Oh, you were
so,
bailed too? Yeah.
went to Gizzy.
Oh,
But
that's
I don't
right.
know. I feel like I hear this a lot from people, and I don't know if it's nostalgia because it still gets so good for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and then it'll be messy and shit, and it'll be weird and it'll reform and
Yeah, I wonder if it is yeah.
yeah. Because
I feel like when you're in the teenage years and you're like learning how to like do all the moves and like really commit to it and stuff. Because I've got the same thing where I used to be like all the waves I used to surf like Hickory Bay and then fucking even Taylor's Mistake and even like Blaketown, like way back. My first year at Blaketown was in 2004, and I just remember those years as just being epic and the waves are always pumping. But I feel like there's like a little rose tint that goes over those formative years.
No
You know
way
what I
you
mean?
guys got waves at Blaketown better than I did.
There's fucking no way.
well, I think the going theory is the going theory, right, is that the sand barge, the dredge, was like working the mouth all the time for all the big coal barges and the fishing boats. But
Yeah, the
especially,
dredge was always there, right?
yeah, the big
Yeah.
big coal barges and like that sand displacement made a really consistent good wave.
No, and that I think that is one of the missing factors. But fuck me, it still gets so good. Like just
Oh.
recently, being injured, I had to persevere and watch.
Oh, is this the reason why you said you're not surfing tonight?
This is I had to persevere and watch, like, I would say pumping 9 out of 10 Blaketown in the corner, 4 foot, offie, middle of summer, offie all day. It's just like,
So what was the
Fuck.
foot? When was Frank sitting there with the offshore wind?
that
That promo for Swoo.
would have been, that was
'Cause that
while
was-
he was here. He was here. He surfed that morning,
Was that what? That was.
that day.
I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
Blaketown right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
first photo. Yeah, that first photo that Frank took. Fuck me. And he got so lucky this trip. Yeah. He would claim to be the prodigal son, true prodigal son of Blaketown.
I still feel like Blaketown. I've got memories of Blaketown even to this year where it's just like you cannot beat it. Like
Yeah,
it's
I bet it.
still, I did. like this is
Blaketown's
crazy.
never as good as when you were there, eh?
Nah, it will be rose-tinted glasses because there was no bungy. There's a couple of stand-ups there.
Yeah.
But it was just,
Gareth.
it just seemed like every day after school you were fucking running down there and someone was doing something new. Brimley, fuck, I can't remember the video. Someone did that weird Ford flip takeoff.
Yeah, that was Nugget.
Yeah, Nugget did that.
Bromley
And
started doing
literally,
it straight away.
yeah, I was like, are you fucking joking? Like, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
it is kind of tall poppy. I can remember going, oh! Because that's an impossible. Have you tried that? It's so dumb. Like, it's a dumb move that looks dumb, Bromley.
It's so fucking hard. I only do it off the back. It's like when I get a big section and I go off the back and I've got heaps of air and I'm like, I'm just going to try a weird front flip kind of golf thing. The golf is what it's called. But
It's a reverse roll. Is it inverted
no,
reverse
it's
roll?
more like you go up to do an air forward, but then you do a front flip and then spin around. So it's like,
'Cause remember Jimmy Blair started doing it. It didn't look the same. It looked quite stylish. He was a handsome man, that guy.
Jimmy Blair is still a handsome man.
He used to shave his legs to go faster with the spring suit on.
So good.
That was the 90s thing. Everybody used to, like, all surfers used to shave their legs, like to put their wetsuits on and stuff. It was like a
That's
real
weird.
weird surfer thing in the 90s.
That was Jimmy Blair. That was.
I'll never. Have I told the story about when I first saw Jimmy Blair surf at Blaketown? Have I told this one, Hodgie?
No, I never
I'm
heard
gonna
it.
tell it now because I remember I just moved to Gisborne and I think I come back for a school holidays or a summer holidays. So this might have been 97. Yeah, maybe not 97. And I remember everyone was talking about James Blair. Oh, Hodgie's on the vape. Everyone was talking about James Blair. Like he's winning all these national scholastics, winning DropKnee comps, prone comps. And I was like, well, you got something to say? What?
There's just so many things you just can't say.
Why?
Oh, keep going.
Why? Because
Just say it.
Oh, he would. Yeah,
his ego will be.
we've
like,
heard about
loving
him
it.
strangling people and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we've heard that story.
Yeah, that's what he'd do to me if I just said what I was going to say. But that's the tall puppy thing coming out. Like
Yeah.
you're building someone up. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, you're not allowed to build someone up. And
Nah,
anyway, go on.
I've grown out of that.
Yeah, okay.
So there was just so much fucking like hype around his name. There was, and I remember
Well,
seeing.
because he lived in Christchurch, and he would come
Yeah.
back and just light shit up and then disappear.
Yeah,
And he had a hot sister.
Was he? Hey, was he booging or was he surfing?
No, boogin.
he was booging, and then he
Booging,
transitioned
right.
and picked that
Yeah.
up pretty quick too. But so yeah, James Blair. So he lived in Christchurch, but it seemed like he was always. Did he spend a year here or what? Did he?
He
live
must
here
have gone
for
to
a little-
boarding school over there, and come back in the summers because his parents
Yeah,
lived
because
up.
he's from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
so
not from Christchurch.
no, but he must be going to. He must
Yeah,
have been going
it
to school.
Confused me then. I was like, he's not from Christchurch.
He'd spend all summers there. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
and then he'd bring randos like Jombies and
And then Rizzo.
Nuffy. Yeah, and then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, Jombies crushed me. So I was always a little bit older.
Yeah.
And started obviously way later than everyone, so I was behind.
Behind the 8 ball.
And I think we had a
Like
comp,
little bit.
and Jombies and Rizzo and all that come over. And obviously I was a bit older and taller, and Jombies was like, oh man, I was nervous to surf against you until I seen you catch a wave. I thought I'd crushed it too.
What a thing to say.
Just fucking. That's one of those ones that still hurts, and that's 25 years ago too.
That's such a good
What a
quote.
Yeah,
I think that might have turned him Christian. He felt so bad about that. That's probably what turned him to Christianity. He still feels about that.
he would get mad at us for hooking up with chicks.
Was
And
he Christian back then?
no, this is in the Goldie.
Oh, yeah,
And then we walked in, and he had a porn mag. Threw it to the roof. no, nothing, man.
I love John V.
We might have to edit that. No,
He'll be fine. He wouldn't. He probably wouldn't listen to this, but his brother Nuffy does.
Tim.
Yeah, Nuffy. He was here just, and it was such a good summer, bro. I didn't get to surf, but Nuffy was here.
Seen Nuffy for fucking
I got to
decade.
hang out with Nuffy.
Is
Nuffy
he still Nuff?
still Nuff.
The
Shout
first
out
night I
Nuffy.
seen him-
Nuffy watches this, or probably listens, or whatever he does, watches or listens, or both.
First time I seen
shout out
Nuffy was standing on top of a yellow bus come on in Surfers Paradise. We're going out, and he was on top of it and just jumped off. And then you know Harry's your mate.
Was it
Within
was it
10 minutes of
going?
meeting him?
Was it running?
Yeah, yeah.
The bus was going.
Yeah, I don't know. Harry got onto it or anything,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're just his best mate. Hey, with
Yeah.
Nuffy.
He's
As soon as you
just
meet him for
such a
10
good
minutes,
human.
he was.
I want to do some John Blackwood Nuffy stories at some stage, but I want to go back to the James Blair story that I was trying to say, which was I finally got to see him surf. So I was like, where is he? He's out at Blaketown. He's on the yellow board. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, so that's James Blair. And I remember like there's a crew of us just watching him, and it was real fat. This is one of the days, the rare days that it wasn't actually pumping. It was real fat, and he was out with a couple of people. And I don't know if he was in a comp or if he was just, there was a comp at Cobbos. It was a go for gold weekend, and he was just free surfing at Blaketown. And it was like the day before or something, the comp started, and I just seen him, and he did like 7 spins and 2 rolls on a wave. And I was just like, how is this even possible? He was just like cutty, spin, reverse, cutty, spin, roll, spin, roll, spin. I was just like,
impeccable
what the
style, hey,
fuck?
as well.
Great.
Not just spins, roll, cutty. It's
And his
just
DropKnee was solid too.
yeah, that really annoyed me.
Yeah. So you could almost say you're almost rivals with those guys because the same age, really, eh?
Well, as you said, it's not. Yeah, no, it was a bit of a right. Well, you just wanted to get better as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But that was what was fun about it, because the whole world was getting better as well. Like Eppo did a double roll, or shit was getting made up
it was like
at the same time in the pro level as well,
that was so
and to
exciting.
our little level.
So exciting about boogin back then because it was just spins and rolls and then ears, and then it was ear reverse, and because Stuart did the first ear reverse, and then out of
Stuart did the first era.
yeah, and then out
Because
of the
Eppo
blue,
must have just gone ARS, everything did
he did ARS and backflip, and then double roll,
Is that always accredited for?
and then he did a double roll spin. So I think he's got like 5 tricks to his name.
Oh, I thought he would have just he just started lighting shit up.
Yeah, he was a freak. Did you ever get to much Eppo styles back in the day? You're probably too young for Eppo, Hodgie, were you? Or
He was before my time. Like my
Yeah.
first inspirations were
Up it, I
Ryan
suppose.
Hardy. Like this is when Ryan Hardy was king. You know, like 2003, 2004. It's when
That's
Ryan Hardy
Eppo
was king.
sort of was starting to dip out, eh? He was starting
Yeah,
to move,
yeah.
move
He did that
eggs and
one
shapes.
last video, didn't he? And it was like that. The air comp was it him and
Eppo's
Tamega?
freak show? No.
wasn't it? Was it him and Gillamy? How do you say?
Yeah, Tamega.
Yeah, was it him or Hubbard? And they had just like a big ear. The video was just about who could pull the biggest ear, and the last 2 ears of the it's fucking ginormous. And I can remember pausing it at the Bruce's house, and we actually got a ruler out. And it was like because they never showed who got the bigger ear.
That's
And
cute.
it was hilarious.
I remember when Eppo brought out and I think it was the first time a pro rider had ever brought out a standalone movie. It's just you.
Eppo's Freak Show.
It was Eppo's Freak Show, and it was the
I reckon.
coolest
Do you reckon if they played that on there, we could name Trick for Trick song? I reckon we'd be pretty close.
Pretty
eh?
close.
Yeah.
There's that he goes to Fiji and has it 6 time in Fiji. There's heaps of Aussie clips, but yeah, it's the first time that someone had ever brought out their signature vid, and it was just like, wow.
Eppo was the first dude,
Yeah, I think so.
not BZ. Or
Oh, actually, sorry, Sevo would have been, but then did Stuart bring out his first one?
He
Sorry,
never
I'm thinking-
released that one, didn't he? Stuart's View. He never actually released it, didn't he?
No, but that was after the Eppo one. I'm sure of it.
It was in '96.
You are an elephant.
Oh man, I like once I baby. Hang on.
Get that kid in the bloody bed. Podcast with John.
What sort of ship are you running? It's loosey goosey. Back in my day,
Kids were seen and not heard. Isn't that the same, wasn't it? You ever got told that one when you were a kid?
oh yeah,
Fuck yeah. Kids should be seen and not heard.
dude. My son's 15. Actually, fuck your daughter.
Yeah, she's turning 15 in
Yeah,
March.
isn't it? We're old, dude.
I love how you got the little greys coming through the hair. At least you've got nice thick hair.
We tried to make fun of me, and I was like,
Why?
"You're
Oh,
all
God.
grey, man."
Walter Matthau's got the greyest hair I've ever seen.
Well,
actually,
old man.
Ads McLean's got the greyest hair I've ever seen, actually. Ads and Ryan Isherwood, they've got so many greys, Grey's Anatomy. But you've got good hair. You've done well.
Yeah, I'm starting to grow up back.
What? You went through a
short back and sides again, and then I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Can't be bothered.
You're going through your
I'm
emo
going
phase
back.
again.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was I
I've been
talking
listening
about?
to AFI quite a lot lately.
Sorry, Hodjo, what'd you say?
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, I was just saying like, so yeah, I started surfing in like '97, but as a kid, like just riding whitewash and trimming along if I was lucky. But then it wasn't until about 2003 where I got addicted. Discovered Riptide and all that. And then once I did, like I just wanted to know everything about bodyboarding. Like who started it, who were the pioneers, like everything. So yeah, I like just became a student of it. Like just and
That was exciting. But
yeah.
for me, half it was having you like actually getting friends.
Buddies.
Yeah, it sounds real sappy, but from coming out the coast road, I know it was just yeah. I was like, oh, I can be part of a community, and the better you got, I think.
Making auto put it.
Yeah. I think you might have got a little bit more status, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But well, that would have. Yeah, that's true too.
Was it tough for you, like having to surf Blaketown all the time because you love lefts?
So I love proning right.
Oh, you do
so
love
what,
proning right, yeah.
I love prone, all about prone. And then I seen Dave Ballard, a picture of him DropKneeing, and I was like, well, what is this?
Yeah.
And he had, and I think it was about 3 weeks later, I got enough money to buy a Dave Ballard board. Yeah. And then I never proned again. I was like, this is the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen. I think he was in Raro. Was it Raro? Did a video. I just watched it the other day, and it's so bad. I was like, oh my God, it's real bad. But back then, it was fucking epic.
Oh, what do you mean bad as in quality or style?
That was put the microphone up to your mouth.
Yeah. It's a bit
cringy.
cringy.
What do you say?
Put your microphone up.
Oh, sorry.
As
soon as I seen Dave
Jolan.
Ballard DropKnee, he used to surf Shark Island like a madman too, though.
On the
prone.
and prone.
Yeah. And then that was it. I just basically didn't prone after that.
And then what'd you do? Did you cream your knickers when you saw Roach?
Your Roach was fucked up.
I know.
Wasn't he? I even tried to change my style to do the... You know who does the weird get up?
Oh,
God, he's the only man on earth that can do that.
Yeah.
On both hands down, legs got to come over.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
We still have both elbows down. Anyway, he gets up kind of weird.
Weird style.
But yeah.
Like he'll be bottom turning and he still hasn't got his leg up really. He's like finally gets it up. It's weird.
And heavy metal.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sick thing about bodyboarding. All my best friendships have come out of bodyboarding. And
bodyboarding and skateboarding seems to attract rad, crazy dudes, fucking mental music, and the best part. Remember going to a stand-up surfboard stand-up party, and I actually thought it was cool, and then I went to a bodyboard party, and I was like, those dudes are so fucking lame. The shit that used to go down at bodyboard parties was fucked up.
Just misfits, eh? Everybody's a misfit, and you're looking for a place to belong. That's why I ended up on the coast for so many years, dude, because I just like being part of the Blaketown crew was, just fucking phenomenal. Like there's still the connections. Like you don't see someone. I saw Frankie because we had a nice camping trip on the coast, and I saw Frankie for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, and it was just like so nice to see him. He was him and the Roddens were the first guys to ever say what's up to me. We used to go there. It's just like the connections you form with these people are fucking so cool.
I don't know if this is what my brain and memory says. So the first Blacktown bodyboard comp, what I did was maybe because I wasn't as good as Blair and all that for my age, and I always thought it was bullshit. You had opens, juniors, and I just thought I'm going to have a beginner, medium, and advanced class. Yeah, and you can build your way through it. It had nothing to do with age groups.
So that was really cool because no one had really done well.
I hadn't heard of it before.
No, I hadn't heard of it before. And it was always age class.
We were all unbiased, like me and Bromley. Everyone would take turns at judging, and it was rad to go up to Rodden and go, "You're a medium."
That's cool. Like an apprenticeship, right? You've done your time.
Yeah, it was. You can no longer go to. Yeah, you're in there. But what's the youngest Rodden, John?
Well, they're twins.
Yeah, but which one's the youngest?
The smaller one's John.
Just
yeah,
right. His dad gave him the front zip wetsuit and put a swimming cap on, and he jumped off the rock and missed the board and just went underwater and disappeared. And I went, well, I've killed the first kid. The club's over. This is fucking, what am I? He couldn't do anything. Nothing. He couldn't even fucking kick. I was like, whoa, you've got beginner. Like, this is, whoa. I
pull the handbrake on this one.
Yeah, I just thought, well, he's dead. He just swam like a rock. He fucking jumped off the rock, missed the ball. And that was fucking, with a fucking shower capping thing on his head, man. But then somehow they all got, everyone, all of a sudden there was no beginner level. It was mediums and advanced. It was
fucking sick environment for people to level up because they can just see what it's like at the top.
Well, that's what I did with that skate club too. And then I think it just gives you something more to aim for because you're like, yes, I got to get out of this bottom tier and get into medium. And then mediums just want to be in the advanced class. And it had nothing to do with, because it wasn't just like 16 and over and you're open or something when we were.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, in the comps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any weird like scenarios where people were like, oh, I shouldn't be a medium? When are you going to put?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, me and Bromley would have to talk in private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was basically you and Bromley, that was sort of running things.
Yeah, I can remember. I think I just wrote on a napkin, like, because I think Tui said, "Oh, you got to go start a club if you're going to have a club," and I was like,
officially
we're going to have one. He's like, "No, you got to,
register it."
He's like, "You got to go get a bank account," because I think I was charging $2 to enter.
Yeah.
I think, one comp we had 70 fucking. It got out of control. I think it was about 28 at the start.
Yeah.
So we were getting money, and I just wrote the stuff down on, I'm pretty sure it was a napkin, and took it to ASB Bank and go, a Blaketown bodyboarders club. And they're like, well, have you got a secretary? I was like, no, we don't need anything. I just need somewhere to put the money. And they're like, no, someone needs to know that what money's going in. And I was like, why? Like, because someone could steal it. I was like, no one's going to steal it. Yeah, they were so stupid. Yeah. Bromley's just laughing in the background. Whether he knew.
Joe.
Hey, he probably knew, you fucking bastard. Fucking Bromley.
Producer break. Giles, go turn on your lights. It's getting really dark in your video.
Just open a curtain.
Oh, yeah. Man, that's so good. So I'd love to pinpoint the years, but I know it's difficult for you guys.
We talked about it at our doco chat, and I think we nailed it down to 97 or 98. I'm pretty sure that would be accurate because you ditched out of school at 15. And what year were you when you were 15?
You're asking me years again. I don't know.
I don't know.
If you moved to
what year were you born?
79. So if you moved to Aussie in 2001.
Yeah. But no, just stop there. You're born in 79, right? So when you're 15, it was 1994. So then
I wouldn't have got that far.
No, I got that. So then
it was pretty much after that.
After that?
Yep.
So 96 maybe.
Yep. Yeah, it would have been 96, 97, I guess.
Yeah, there we go.
And the whole thing, I could.
Hodjo's writing that down in his little wee Blaketown notes, his little encyclopedia.
What did Bromley know?
He said same. Sort of like 97.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't relate to fucking rugby or league players. I just didn't get it.
But you played league, or rugby?
Running a seagull, buddy.
Yeah. Seagulls. Hodjo's writing that down. Running a seagull.
So you guys are about the similar age, but
So was I an Aussie when you first come to Blaketown?
No, because
you just randomly turned.
I surfed Blaketown first time was 95.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I moved to Gisborne in 96. So
yeah,
I only got a little.
So
taste.
Can you remember meet me before Gizzo?
No.
I can remember after it.
I remember after it.
Not before.
We never met until after, because I had my own little wee crew with the Goldie and I was with like Bradley McEwen and Jamie Gaskell, and that was our sort of crew.
Bradley used to be so annoying.
All right,
he was so scrawny. Hey,
what's up? You off?
No, it's all good. It's all good. Carry on.
Oh, yeah, the Bradley chats. Carry on.
Oh, he was so scrawny and just fucking annoying. He would not stop following you around.
Really bullied, like because he was so small and annoying.
Well, I think we wanted to go out in we wanted to go out in the piss, and I'm pretty sure it was Gooch and Tim picked him up and just threw him fully clothed into the ocean, and he started crying. And even I was like, "You've gone too far. You've gone too far." And then all of a sudden he just grew up. He fucking was 6 foot. Yeah. Fucking the fuck dog.
No longer bully the fog.
The craziest dude ever.
You guys were the last generation of proper grom abuse. I
think so, because I tried to
do it. There was a dude from Paroa
Oh.
who had money and a scooter, and he had a dimple bottom moray. Remember when they come out?
No, that was Raymond Beckford, Kororo.
Oh, you
Beckford.
guys! I think didn't the Bruces ride the scooter into the ocean and like stone that? Like they
He
gave
got
him
s-
hell.
I feel so sorry for him because he got proper
He ended up in
bullied.
one of my classes, and I was like, "Oh no, I feel so bad for this dude." Yeah,
And then there was another guy, Vance Leach, who got super
but it was because he
bullied
turned
as
up
well.
with new shit, and you're like, "Hey, you can't start with new
Tall
shit."
Poppy.
Yeah,
Chop
But
him
yeah,
down,
I could-
chop him
Yeah, yeah.
down.
I'm pretty sure Hamish jumped on the scooter and just fucking drove it straight down the bank and into the ocean. Yeah. What was the dimple bottom was to remember it was to create foam underneath it to make it lighter and looser.
Air
It was
pockets.
amazing what they were coming up with there.
Yeah.
It was like, "Whoa."
That was, I think that was a Manta. What was it called?
it was a more it was
Oh, was it a Moray?
Yeah.
No, it was a Moray.
the 7 remember was it the 7X
I
Moray?
never had one of them.
Oh,
That's
it was the
before my time.
Greatest fucking
The
all
yellow,
round board.
the
Yeah,
yellow.
dark green I had.
Oh,
I had that. Remember when you got a new board? It was so
Oh my
fast.
God.
Oh my god. I'm a god right now. I just fucking fuck off. Yeah.
What was your favorite board you ever had, Briggsy? Like
Oh,
back
the
in those
Ballard.
days?
Manta
Yeah.
I think I
Ballard.
had about 5 Ballards,
Sick.
and then it was just roach after that.
Oh, sick.
43, 43-inch. Ballard made a 42.5, and then that 43-inch roach come out. And yeah, I was just
Oh wow.
all about that DK life. It's
Yeah.
fucking hard. Drop
Exactly.
Were they tubes boards? Was he with tubes? Was it?
Oh, he jumped
was-
around. He had a few different boards. He was a two. He was
So Ballards were all Manta,
Yeah.
Ballards definitely
and
Manta.
then no, all the roaches I had were Manta as well. Those blue ones with the red
But
trim and the white.
He rode for tubes for a bit.
Yeah, but yeah, I was all Mantas.
yeah.
The same color, same size.
Because
Yeah.
Roach first rode for Moray. You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
And, like,
amazing.
he used to go in comps where it was all prone guys, and he'd be the only DropKnee, and he'd still like make the semis, sometimes win, just DropKnee.
I think he was on a video and he punched Kelly Slater.
Well, yeah, that's
They had a
when he-
boxing thing, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just burnt my Ballard board after that. It's like, there's a new god. There's a new god.
God.
He that was on Momentum, eh? Like he was boxing Kelly
was the
Slater on Momentum.
Momentum surf video.
Yeah, it was on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
no
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a student of the game, mate.
Well,
Elephant brain.
I seen a interview with Roach and the Cartel dudes. I think they were
Jeez.
going somewhere and they did a podcast in the back of the car. And he
Oh.
wants to surf ranch, but he still reckons Slater wouldn't let him up.
Ah.
Still because of the incident. And I was like,
Who was
you can't-
that? Paul Wright, really?
Yeah,
Was there a podcast out with him recently?
they were in the back of a car going to a cartel like a bodyboard event,
Oh,
and Roach, they're interviewing Roach.
Was this
What?
just
I want to
recently?
hear about
Yeah, it
this.
would have been last year or the year before or
that's
something. But
recent. Fuck.
'cause
Any, like,
because he's
any-
like a Hal Carpenter, eh, or something in real life.
I don't know.
In real
but-
life.
In real life, yeah. In
Yeah,
regular life.
Roach is a carpenter, but yeah, he's always one. Apparently, they won't let him, and I was like, that would still be the same beef.
For me, he's such a mystical character. If I hear any Roach news, I stop everything. And
That's
just
why I was
like,
excited when it
Yeah, I'm-
little
I need to go
podcast.
and hunt this out. Fuck,
Yeah.
that's I'm fizzing about that. Any sort of like, I would die if someone just paid Roach. Hey, here's 2 months
I mean,
worth of wages.
Did you have that
Let's just
fantasy?
go
I had
and-
that fantasy for Blaketown bodyboard comp. Like, if someone won lotto, or we just
Oh yeah. Or
can't we just pull on and get 50
I
grand
think I have that fantasy every
just to
week.
see a pro what they could do at Blaketown? Like,
Yeah.
fuck, imagine what Roach could do at Blaketown or Ballard
know.
could do back end. Yeah, it would be fuck. Yeah. Did it ever happen? Tomago and that came to Westport.
What?
Yeah.
Tamika did. Really?
And they didn't actually surf, and Jimmy Blair won the comp. And it was all his thing was, oh, they
I
seen me,
won.
they seen me do it, and I think they turned up like 10 minutes late, and they
Oh,
wouldn't
really?
let him in it or something. And Blair's like, nah, he just seen me slaying it, and then didn't want to go with it. But anyway, yeah, they were doing a van tour of New Zealand. And,
True.
yeah, he was in there,
Yeah.
and he'd come to Westport, but it was terrible. It was like 2 foot,
Taronga Bay or some shit.
not 9 miles at the other one
Oh,
across because
that's
Tauranga
right.
was so bad.
Yeah.
And the DropKnee comp, I couldn't even catch it, trim on a wave.
Hmm.
Blair was prone kick, get up on DropKnee, like do a turn, get back down, kick, catch the yeah. It was
freakish talent.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what the Aussie guys do really well in small waves. When I went to
Except for Matt Lackey, that dude could never drop me. Remember the arguments
No,
that we had?
I know. We used to tall poppy the shit out of Lackey.
Done. He literally had he was rad now. I got to admit, he
He-
come full. He got good, but
But when he first started, he was quite.
He had no
was,
turn.
He was overhyped.
He did that half flick, and everyone was like, "See that, Cuddy? No, I've seen Joel and fuck Michael Crawley. Yeah, he was the fuck Godfather of Aussie. Yeah, what was that story I was going to tell you?
Yeah. So let's talk about when you moved to Aussie. So
No, this is before Aussie. I was to get extra money. Dad would let me at Westfleet do the night shift. I think it was like 11 p.m. till 2 in the morning. In summer, the tuna boats would come in late and they'd go straight back out. So someone had to unload the boat. So I'd do the forklift and put it in the freezer.
Sweet.
So I had that. I just basically sit in the upstairs office with the radio on, and if they called it, so
like, almost like a dispatcher,
basically doing nothing.
Guy.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
So people would come around all the time, and of course they had the company phone. And Smiddy come over, and he's like, "We should just try and call Michael Crawley in Australia." And we just got the Gold Coast yellow white pages and just looked up Crawley and just started ringing. Is Michael there? No, you got it wrong. Is Michael there? No, you got it wrong. We never got him either. It must have been 1,000 Crawleys just in the Gold Coast from fucking Kira to
turn the light on.
The surface. But yeah, that was hilarious. I know how fuck. Remember somebody used to make mini bodyboards? Did you ever see those, Hodges?
No.
Yeah, Smiddy used to, did you ever go and make mini bodyboards and he'd put a slick on them?
No. Like, did he make them out of wood or something?
No, like a
foam.
Yeah, like a proper surf.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah.
Smitty was a bit of a geek. Oh,
He's still got the biggest iconic ear at one of the Go for Golds when there was a bodyboarding. Can you remember that? And
I was there.
It was a closeout. We were all on the bank,
I know.
and he must have gone. Okay, real talk. He gone.
Yeah, come on.
It would have.
We all said it was about 10 feet.
What I was about to say, it's still in my brain. It was like that was a 10-foot ear.
It was. I think it was.
Massive closeout on. How big a wave was that?
4 foot.
Yeah, it seemed so much bigger.
It was probably bigger, actually.
It was big day.
4 to 6. It was a big day.
And I just thought, oh, he's going to pull straight. And he just fucking smashed it. And fuck, yeah.
See,
did he land it? I don't think he even landed it.
My claim to fame, that comp, because that was the first Go for God I went in, probably the first and last. And my claim to fame, and because I was a kook, pretty much, like medium level, spins and rolls. Only just started learning how to DropKnee. So it would have been, I think that comp was about 97.
Okay.
Because I remember coming home. That was the same comp that I talked about my James Blair story just before.
So wait, were you there, Hodge? Were you?
No,
you weren't anywhere near here.
No, mate. No. It was way before my time, pal.
Yeah. So I remember the first day, or the morning was held at Bright Street, and it was pretty shitty. And it was like the second day, the second morning was at Cobbos proper. But yeah, my claim to fame was like me and Bromley were in a heat together, and I was so nervous because Bromley was like the god.
Yeah.
And I think I beat him by like a placing, and I was just like, gave me so much confidence. But yeah, going back to the Smiddy ear was,
it was big because we had to paddle out the river. I remember that. This is fucking crazy.
And that was the first time I'd actually surfed Cobbos, because I'd never surfed Cobbos. Fuck that place. It was always shit.
Fat.
But then I had to, and I was just like, this is the first time I had to paddle around the bar. I had my fucking heart in my throat. But I remember actually,
because they're like, don't go too wide, you end up in fucking Ranunga. And if you hug it, you're going to get fucking smashed on the rock.
Yeah.
Then you just go,
yeah. I was just following whoever was in my heat. But that was pumping that day at Cobbos.
It was pumping.
And the banks were actually sick. It was those right-handers that were actually barreling, and then you'd have a closeout section. Some of them would fat out, but a lot of them was just like barrel, hit it, eh?
Smiddy's was a left though, wasn't it?
No, it was a right.
It was a right.
I remember it clearly.
I can remember where I was standing.
Was he on a white board or a yellow board? Because I remember it was a light colour board. And I remember
I can remember the feet. Like the way
I just remember he went up and hit it, and it just boosted. Because he would have been like 15.
He was pretty young.
He would have been 15 because he's like 2 years younger than me, I think. And he just punted this giant fucking invert, and everyone was just the whole clip just screamed.
Everyone, eh?
Yeah,
not just
surfers.
But
everyone.
yeah, it was like
people
fucking
watching.
God damn.
Yeah, I think that was the 97 Go for Gold. It was actually who won that year out of the books? I wonder.
Yeah, wouldn't have a clue. Fucking who's the Canterbury dude that could only do a cutback with the wrong hands?
Aaron Locke.
Yeah, he did. Lovely man. With a lot for bodyboarding.
No.
But he won some questionable fucking competitions from stand up to his judge and going, did you see that sick cutty? Yeah.
There was a little bit of that. I remember and there was a bit of talk amongst our crew. It was like, because we had rivalries with everyone across New Zealand, the Greymouth crew, and him winning comps, and we
Are we rose-tinted and glassing again?
probably.
Like,
Dude, this
those
old
guys
cat probably-
suck compared to the shit that the Blaketown crew were doing.
I agree.
A fucking trim to cutty, no.
I guess they just
Didn't
have
even
different-
spin. It's just a wrong-handed cutty. Was it wrong hand? My brain's telling me it was a wrong-handed.
No,
cutty.
he used
He'd
to do
switch hand.
that. But he would do it on purpose.
Yeah,
He would switch his hands
fucking really,
to really, and we
Yeah, but
thought
that
it
was like an old school '90s thing. Like
It was. Like that-
Caldwell and
people
that
used to
used to
do
do
that.
that sort of thing. Yeah,
used to.
yeah.
That shit
Yeah,
but you
wasn't
guys-
allowed back then.
yeah. I feel like you guys at Blaketown were, like you were saying, like you guys at Blaketown were so
Critical.
like keeping up to speed with whatever was happening
Yeah.
in the magazine. So like as soon as you saw what the pros were doing, you're like, right, we're like that's how we're going to surf. That's what we're going to try. Whereas like a lot of in the '90s, like a lot of those guys were still stuck in
Do you
those
think
really old school styles.
Yeah.
Do you think so? Yeah, I like fuck. Do you think it mattered who you looked at? Like Wingnut for me, like he was just an animal.
Yeah.
Like this, yeah, I couldn't.
I
Do
love.
you think it's because it might be like skateboarding too? There's some dudes that are too good and smooth and land on their bolts, and I hate them. Like Mike Stewart, I couldn't relate to because he's perfect. You're like, well, I'm never going to have that style.
right.
But give me some wingnut action. Fucking dudes all over the place and bouncing and chop up, but then just fucking smashes an ear out. That's
Yeah.
the shit I like.
Wingnut had an unconventional style, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was an animal.
He was-
Same
he
as
could do
Ballard.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got into DropKnee because I seen Ballard. What
Mm.
got you into DropKnee? I don't know the story.
Well, it was probably in the Bruces. I was just watching them. But on magazines, it was.
Can you remember first doing it and go, well, this is impossible? You just spin
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
Like all you do is spin out.
Yeah.
Get up, spin out. Get
Yeah,
up.
I'll never forget the first time I actually got up properly and not trimmed. It was just got up and then down. And I was like, oh my God, I'm still on. I'm still on.
Yeah.
Like the first 20, 30 attempts were just like, oh, this sucks. I'm never going to get this.
No, I even looking back now, I think I wonder what kept me going because it's fuck it.
For
Because you
me-
went backwards in time because you had to
Yeah.
waste a lot of waves
Yeah.
learning how to DropKnee.
Well, see, for me, it was the realization that it can be done because there's a lot of people around me who are doing it.
I know.
I
Remember when
remember-
you got a hell one at Blaketown? You're like, if I DropKnee, you're just kissing this wave.
Goodbye.
Yeah, like it's a 50-50 roll on the dice,
Still to this
but
day.
you still got to do it.
Still to this day. But yeah, I remember the surf. It was at Kororo. Bromley was out, and I actually asked him. I was like, "Bro, can you help? Like, what are the tips?" And he was just like, "Just keep trying, man. Honestly, all it is just keep trying." I was like, "Fuck, okay," and I just did it. That one piece of advice was just perfect. I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get it. It's just a matter of time." And that's
Was
what-
that-
Get
was-
the bottom turn, but then your knee would catch. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Sorry, Hodgie, what'd you say, bro?
Was that just learning how to drop knee?
Yeah.
Yeah,
initial-
I'm the same, mate. I just kept trying, and then it was the best feeling ever when you actually finally got the you swung your foot around without catching your flipper on the rail. You're just like, oh fuck yeah, and it was
So
so
yeah,
sick.
because there's so many of our buddies who just stick to prone and they never fuck with DropKnee. Do you think that's why? Because it is fucking hard to get there at the start, and then to continue it's hard.
It's fucking impossible.
And like you say, you block
Do you have
heaps of waves.
Nightmare. Do either of you have night? Like I can still remember at Lovers at D-Bar
Mm.
and the biggest one coming in and Ben Honey and Corey. Anyway,
Oh,
pro,
yeah.
used to be a pro.
Yeah,
bodyboarder.
I can see him. Yeah,
Was a
the
good
short
friend of
guy,
ours.
Short guy.
Yeah, and he got jacked.
Yeah, real musty.
Corey Bradley.
Yeah,
Did I
might
just
be.
nail it?
I think you did.
Yeah.
Sure, brother.
And this fucking peak come up and I was on the outside and I just fucking pulled in and I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And it kind of flattened out and I slid out and got axed in front of what could have been the greatest wave of my life. And to this day, I still can picture that going,
Yeah.
fuck yes. And then just the horror. I can actually still see the wave and Bradley's face just going, like, no.
Yeah, he would have been reveling in your failure too.
That was it. Blaketown used to get heavy and fuck. I can remember both eyelids being inside out and getting pushed down, and I thought my sternum was going to snap. And coming up, But there you go to D-Bar, looks so lovely and pretty and blue.
TV too.
Oh man, I used to give a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
last surf at D-Bar was a while back now, but I remember my last surf at D-Bar and I was like, fuck, there's a lot of water moving around. Like it looks so friendly and skate parky, but it's actually quite currenty, eh?
I can remember having one of the funnest surfs there with you, and I'd
Mm.
actually I stole your vest, and I got like 4 months out of something, and you just swam up to me and went, "This is it. I want my vest back."
Yeah.
Damn it! But we were trading waves, and it was, and I got
That's
cold
right.
so quick. I was like, "Oh man!"
It was a wetsuit singlet, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dope.
Yeah.
That's all you
cool.
needed. You never got cold through winter there.
Now, can we talk about gold? No, let's go back to Go for Gold parties. Surely you've got some good memories of some crazy nights. Do you remember any of
I
the
can remember all of our hearts breaking when Joan Shaw,
hooked up with
Jimmy Blair, Kate Blair.
Kate Blair?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jai usually got the cream of the crop because he had that status, eh?
Did have
has
a-
nothing to do with his looks or anything, eh? But no, any good Go for Gold?
I remember
hats?
the cops broke one up and we took off around the back because we're all underage.
Yeah.
And we went into the cop car and I think Harvey stole the truncheon and I stole the police hat. And we just hightailed it into town. There was even talk of stealing the cop car.
Yeah, I
Because you
think I remember
just-
that one.
Yeah. And then the cops come into Revy's or the railway.
Looking for years. No.
Yeah, well, they just come in and we're like, fuck, there's those cops. And the cop threw me up against the wall and like punched me in the stomach and was like, you stole from it. And I was like, fuck it. No, I didn't. Like, where? And
Prove it.
he
Yeah.
took the hat off my head. I still had his police hat on.
Oh,
yeah.
you dumbass.
Yeah. Pretty funny when you look back.
So you stole
I think Harvey had that truncheon forever too. It was dope.
that's a good little memento,
Yeah.
eh, from a night
I
out.
wonder if anyone does it in their flats anymore. Has all the signposts that you stole from around fucking.
Oh, yeah,
Greymouth
that
and-
still happens.
yeah.
Definitely.
Bromley went in the lockup one night for that.
Did he?
Yeah, stop
Yep.
signs or something. We were fucking pulling out.
Yeah.
Any basketball hoop that I could jump up and hang off, I just snap in people's driveways. Just dumb teenage shit.
It's good now, mate. You've relaxed.
bands
and
used to be-
enjoying it.
Dope at the Go for Gold parties though. That's like
Yeah.
remember the live music, like Bungie, Gareth Royal's band was fucking.
They were
Epic.
sick. They were playing like Rage Against the Machine and shit.
I sang a Corn song on stage.
Oh,
That there's
no
video
way.
footage of.
Yes.
But Bungie made me sing Clown. Remember?
Yeah. I think
Yeah, it was
so.
real emotional, weird corns. Anyway, it was fucking. Anyway, yeah.
You love your music, don't you, Briggsy?
So this is controversial because everyone, you including Rosie and everyone was in NoFX and all the punk bands, and I was
You
just
were a
Deftones and
Deftones metal guy.
Pantera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. There was one band I liked, and I gave you the CD. Can you remember what that was? It was
Screw 32.
yeah, and the singers sounded the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only punk band I kind of liked.
Yeah. I think I might have stolen that off you.
Yeah, I never got that back.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen
Oh my god!
Deftones?
I told my dad. Yeah, hella. This is what it's about. Right? Telling stories. Yeah.
exactly.
I told my old man I'm taking the car because I'm gonna stay at Rosie's for the weekend. Went in, picked Rosie up, drove all the way to Picton, jumped the ferry to go to Pantera and Biohazard concert.
Wow.
And I think we were 15.
So it was you and Rosie.
Me and Rosie, pulled the old prank. He said he was staying out Baztown. You know that old story.
Oh, yeah, I'm staying at yours.
Yeah,
You're staying at mine.
yeah, yeah.
We're off.
Went there and I was like, fuck, if we get found out, the old man will kill me.
Yeah.
Got in the line and it was just skinheads, black tight jeans,
would've been.
white gumboots, a row of cops in the cop cars, and they're like fucking throwing things at the cops. And I was like, oh, this is heavy.
Oh, Jesus.
We get into the line.
Did you go to the
and the
pit-
dude
go to
in
the
front of
pit?
me had a
Oh.
Westfleet shirt on, and he turned around and goes, "You fucking old man, know you're here?" I was like, "No." He's like, "How much money you got?" And I was like, $20. Like, fucking give it to me, or I'm telling you.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No.
And when I got home, he'd fucking dobbed me in. So it was that
Oh.
cunt got me $20. Anyway,
Cunts.
they were throwing beer bottles at them. We finally, and there was two dudes in fucking wheelchairs.
Is this before you got in?
This is before we got on.
Oh
I was
my
like, it's going to
God.
be cancelled because there's a riot about to happen. And then they let the dudes in the wheelchair in. And then we all went in, and Biohazard started playing, and I have never heard loud music. Like they had speaker stacks to the it was. You thought you were going to like ears explode, but it was fucking epic, and everyone was just jumping, like the whole crowd. And then you know how you do beach balls at concerts? Yeah, the wheelchairs just started getting with no one in it. Just started going around the crowd like beach balls. And I was like, guys, are they just slugs in the fucking corner? Yeah. And then Pantera come on, and I'd never been in like a real mosh pit. Like you do the run jump in at the Cobbo thing.
Yeah.
But there was like, I don't know, hundreds of dudes just
hits,
like grown men, right? Like we were
throwing elbows and shit.
And Rosie's the perfect height to get headbutted by everyone.
And elbowed.
So I was like, I thought he was going to die. And then we made it through the concert, and they threw the drumsticks and guitar picks out, and we got a couple of guitar picks, and then the drummer stood up and threw it, and it was coming right for me. And then all I remember is Rosie like going, "You all right?" And I was like, "What?" It's like, and then the St. John's dude going, "Oh yeah, he's coming around." I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, you got the stick." And I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, but then some dude just knocked you." So I must have got the stick, and a dude just king hit me, and that's all I remember of the. Then it was
and took the stick off you.
Yeah. I was like, "Do I still have the stick?" He was like, "No, you're nearly dead, dude." Yeah, greatest concert ever. Like halfway through, they said, "Oh, we couldn't bring drugs. Has anyone got drugs?" And a million bags of everything just flew on stage. And it was fucking chaos. And then
so Pantera in the 90s when they were
the Great Southern Trendkill Tour, and he started with that song, and it was just. Have you ever heard Great Southern Trendkill?
Yeah,
he just screams that first bit. Yeah. It was.
That's the album with Walk on it and everything.
No, Walk was before that.
Oh,
this is their third album. So they did Cowboys from Hell.
Oh yeah.
Vulgar Display of Power, and then Great Southern Trendkill. That's right. Yeah. You guys will listen to Faggy No Effects about linoleum and fucking gay shit. Yeah, they won't play my song on the radio. Fucking no way they won't. You fucking douchebags. Anyway, that's cool.
Oh, that's
That's so good.
Yeah, we're all into punk. We were all just
Bromley Pennywise. Fuck, he was a Pennywise.
But Bromley verged into a bit of metal and stuff too, I think. He liked it, but not as much as he liked his punk. Like he was so competitive with his music as well. Like he would be the first guy to get the latest CDs.
Dude, him and Rosie were at it.
They would, it would be like
I forget the name of the fucking music store that was here.
Centerpoint Records.
But he was like, don't ring Tim first, fucking when it comes in, when the new album comes in, yeah. And it was just a race to get it.
It was competitiveness to get the latest CD.
Amazing.
Honda Accord, fucking yeah.
Briggsy, when did you move away from the coast?
So it must have been 2000.
Yeah,
I think I can remember. You had to go to careers thing or whatever before I got expelled.
Yeah,
and they basically said you're just going to be a labourer. I was like, you don't understand. I'm just going to travel the world and surf all the spots. And that's after. It's probably fucking Jigger Mayn. Him showing me those magazines and just talking about all these different spots. I was like, fuck. And then seeing Eppo and fucking everyone in Aussie, I was like, we've got to go to Aussie. Yeah, and I think Jimmy Blair and John B's got. I think me, Rosie, and Kate Blair moved into a flat together. We flew over at the same time, and then
so that was 2000.
Yeah, they didn't.
Get into the drink, Hot fire.
They didn't last. Oh, okay. Yeah, they went back, and then I think I couch surfed on Jimmy Blair's fucking in their Gold Coast flat.
Yeah.
And then until I got a job, and then I was What do we got here? Bacardi.
A little RTD. A little Bacardi Raspberry Mojito. On a Monday night. On a Monday night with Briggsy, the Godfather of the Blaketown Bodyboarders Club.
Did you manage to get out in the water while you've been back on the coast?
It's got back today, didn't you?
I brung the motorbike down.
Yeah.
And thought I'll get a sneaky surfing. And I didn't bring the fins for my surf. I leave a surfboard and wetsuit at mum and dad's house. But I forgot the fins.
Yes. Are they still in Barrytown?
Yeah, mate. They're still in the Baztown.
Oh, nice.
They'll never leave there. They're too fucking stubborn, even though they're 80-something.
Because Briggsy's got older parents than most people, eh? Most of our
mum had me when she was 44.
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't a mistake.
Keep telling yourself that, buddy.
One of my brothers. No, one of my sisters got kids that are older than me. It's fucking.
Oh, way.
Yeah,
crazy.
oh, Maureen Pugh.
Of course.
Vote National.
Oh, because Tay's older. Is Tay older than you?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, me and Tay are quite similar, and then I've got an older brother, David, and Maureen's got Shane, and I reckon we got mixed up somehow. I think David and Shane are meant to be brothers, and me and Tay should have been brothers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Aussie, That was so. Then this
Got to the
is real
Goldie.
life with Dean Briggs.
Yeah, it's weird.
We went to Aussie, and
Well,
because I've got to talk about the super hot old MILF that you started hooking up with in Aussie, Can we please talk about her? Can we please talk about her? I'm telling the story. You can edit it out if you don't want to. But
Victoria,
that's her name. So like, this is so good. So we're all hanging out, and then it started to go around that Briggsy's hooking up with this older chick. She would have been probably 34, and you were about. Well, you'll be able to tell the story, but I want to tell my perception. And you would have been fucking 20, 21, and she was definitely in her mid 30s, right? Anyway, the story.
an M3 BMW. Come on.
Yeah. Tell
Fake
the story.
boobies.
Fake boobies.
Hot.
Just fully
You
kitted
can't
out.
take about hot.
She was hot, bro.
Yeah.
Super hot.
Just to set the
dark
scene
hair.
before he pays me out terribly.
No.
Yeah.
It's hot. Set the scene.
No,
Oh,
it's your
okay.
story, man. You go.
No, I'm just saying it was so weird. It was like no one had ever really done this before within the crew. Like, who's actually hooking up with someone 15 to 18 years older than us? And here's Briggsy. He's got this full
Right now, though,
yeah,
you're on your 40s.
yeah.
If a hot 22-year-old smoking hot chick, like,
Yeah,
come
true.
on.
I have limits. I have age limits. mate.
Whatever.
I'm sorry. No, but it was nuts. She had this fucking mansion. I remember we went round there once for a barbecue, and like it was next level.
pool and shit, eh?
Massive fucking outhouse, like a hang spot. With we were
house.
playing table tennis because we were similarly skilled in table tennis. So me and you would have sick
You would
comps.
surpassed me by now.
Yeah, I
But
don't
back
know,
then,
but it was sick. It was So
you found out I didn't have a forehand, and then it was over.
yeah, that's right. I found your weakness.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to go around to Briggsy's fucking mum's house. Oh, it was just crazy. How did you meet her? What was the story there?
So how the fuck did I meet you? I actually worked for Riptide Bodyboard magazine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What
Cool.
the fuck?
Let's talk about this. Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, that's after that. No, I fucked that up. But we will talk about that.
Cool.
I'm noting that down. I want to hear about that. I want to hear
Get in
about
the
the big
notes.
titty MILF though.
I've still got the Riptides with my name, and you know how they put the like editor and all that, and then
Yeah.
it was head of marketing radio D
Yeah.
Briggs. Like, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I quit a job. I think it might have been old City Beach job, and got a
Surf
job.
shop?
Yeah, at
Yep.
Bond University, which
Yes.
was fucking.
So
dope.
much chicks there.
Oh, every semester, new ones come in from the States. It was. I can remember me and a barman were like, let's have a race to 100 chicks. Who can sleep with 100 chicks? And we just started at it. And then I worked in the bar, and like I think there was like 200 dorm rooms. And I basically had to get there at 7 a.m. And then if anyone had a problem, you just fucking change light bulbs, and then you check the new people in when they got there. Anyway,
Right.
yeah. And then the chick that ran the place, she was sick, and then this fucking MILF just walked in, and I was like, "Oh damn, who's this?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just the temp covering
Also,
whoever
she
the boss
working at
was."
University as well.
Yeah, and then
Right.
I was it was like, I can remember going to the bar, and we were still having that thing, and I was like, "Have you seen her?" He's like, "Yeah." And it was just a comp to see who could
get her
yeah,
first.
and it was since I was working. That was just it was
So you
on.
met her at Bond Uni.
Yeah,
You just horn.
And then
so
I-
you had a bit of a sugar mama.
literally free home, free car.
Did you move in with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, eh?
Yeah.
It was fuck. We're all talking about it, eh? Like
You're just like
Briggsy, like Briggsy just went up on this fucking next level of like coolness because it was like, what the fuck have
She
you
had
heard about Briggsy?
She had a crate. So she was with some dude in Sydney, and he sent her up there, bought her a house, everything.
kitted her out.
Yeah, but he was some big time drug dealer in the
Oh,
end. It turned
Jesus
out, and was just.
God,
I can remember
you would have been freaking out a little bit.
she had a plastic bag she went come to work with, and she's like, "Oh, you just make sure no one looks at that." I was like, "Okay." As soon as she left, I was like,
look,
and it was just cash, but like super
Oh.
value, like double.
oh god, she might have been like middleman sort of vibes.
Yeah, and it turned out
Laundering.
he would just drop off
laundering, yeah,
cash, but he ended up going to jail. And then when he come
That's
out,
right.
when he come out, he just was with a different chick, so he just gave her like $1 million and said, "I'm never coming back." And so I just got the reap of all that free
benefits.
Oh my god, that's
Because you're with him for quite a while, eh? Like a year, maybe.
Yeah, probably even longer than that.
Yeah.
fuck, that's
I think
incredible,
I
dude.
quit. I left Riptide magazine and basically had no job, and I'd moved out from a flat in Kera. She's like, "You just come," because she had that bottom floor.
Mm.
Just come and stay with me. And then of course it was just straight into her bedroom. And yeah.
So how long did you work at Rippies for, and how did that all happen?
So
What about that?
I think it was it City Beach or Bonn?
I could just before I could just imagine the other grey mouth guys and just some shitty flat, fucking fat girls.
Yeah, I was balling.
That's what we were
I was
doing.
super balling at the time.
Briggsy was like on the stardom fucking vibes, eh? Like
Working
Briggsy
at
was basically a
Riptide.
celebrity, a greymouth celebrity now.
Working at Riptide, banging some MILF. And
Yeah,
Jolin's
fucking hell.
Jolin's on some
Yeah,
shitty
banging.
flat. Jolin's on
Bannister?
some shitty
No.
flat.
Was it Rick Bano back then? No, it wouldn't have been Rick Bannister. Maybe the Riptide
I
editor.
remember going in there and he had bodyboards to the floor, to the roof in 2 stacks. And I was
Wow.
like, what the fuck's this is insane.
Because they would have got like samples all the time, eh?
But they wanted the marketing, some sort of, I think it was marketing. Anyway, it literally come up in the newspaper. I
What did
think,
you
or
put on
we're-
your CV? Marketing experience.
So I paid someone. I went around, fuck, imagine getting a job at Riptide, and I paid someone to do the CV,
Yes.
and they just made it. It was half fabricated.
Yes. Of course
All
it
the
was.
stuff in New Zealand that they would never track down. Anyway, it made me sound fucking epic.
Nice.
And then I was like, fuck, I'm going to suit up. I wore
Oh.
pants and a dress shirt, like bought pants and a dress, and because everyone rocked up in surf outfit because it's going for a surf
Yeah,
job.
and you went real professional.
And I was like,
oh,
and
this guy.
dude, I went, I rented a car.
Holy
Everyone pulled
shit.
up in like shit wagons, and I pulled up in a fucking brand new Camry, and then got out. And,
Wow.
imagine if you could get a job working for Riptide. I was like, this is
Dream.
yeah, I'm going to get
Dream.
this fucking job. And I swear to God, they had like 2,000 applicants, and then they whittled it down, and I got the first interview.
Because every fucking 20-something grommy would have been just
Everyone
like,
wanted
I'm gonna go and work for Riptide.
Including Jimmy Blair, everyone. Everyone went.
I remember looking at the
Cloth.
Oh,
I need a cloth.
Pause. Pausing now. And we're back. What are you eating, Hodgie? What's that? Is that chips? No, oh yeah, it's good.
crackling.
I had one of those the other day.
That way over there.
Had one of those the other day. Exact same packet. So Riptide chats. We're coming back.
Yeah, Riptide, rented a car.
Rented a car. And got the fucking job.
Got an interview. Got called back. Didn't rent the car. Just walked further away with my 180B Datsun. And then I was talking, and this dude poked his head in and went, "Do you know what you're doing in this job?" And I was like, "Oh, I think I can do it. Right, I'm good at sales." And he's like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "New Zealand." He's like, "Yeah, but where?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a little place in the South Island. No one knows where it is." He's like, "Where is it?" And I was like, "Fuck, it's called well, it's not Punakaiki, it's Barrytown, but no one, I always say." And he's like, "Oh, I'm from Westport. My name is Peter Morrison.
Oh,
Just give this dude the job." And then he just
That's
told all
right.
the Aussie dudes to fuck off. And he's like, yeah, you can have the job, mate.
What
And I
is
was
it,
like,
the Peter Morrison?
yeah, it was
Wow.
Morrison Media. So Morrison Media I had to run
They own quite a few things, eh?
sales for Riptide, Freerider Motocross, Chick Magazine, and Slam Skateboard Magazine.
Sick.
So yeah, I was dealing with like Eppo, and when he had his Eppo's board store, it just started fucking cranking, and it was that
Yeah.
shop in Burley.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it made me hate bodyboarding and surfing.
Yeah, right.
It was super political.
Yeah, it would have been.
It was, yeah. You didn't know any of that. You just think, oh, it's fucking,
It's going to be happy days
Yeah.
and surf trips with the boys. And
and then you find out, because like, I'd have to deal with the big three, like Billabong, Rip Curl, Quicksilver.
Quickie, yeah.
And then, so what happens is someone back then will get the cover shot So say a Quicksilver rider gets on the cover,
Mm-hmm.
then you've got to ring Rip Curl and go, we'll give you the inside cover, because they would spend
$2,000 more.
no, they would spend 80 grand through all the magazines
per mag. Oh no, to get cumulatively.
each month they would spend 80 grand. So you had
Right.
to go, well, we'll give you the inside cover, and then so they wouldn't get pissed off and pull their, because they'd just go, oh, we're not going to advertise this month, and you're like, and then you can't go back to the box and go. But so it was just bullshit like that, and then they'd write to get the release of the photos, and then at the last minute the photos just disappeared and weren't allowed to be used. Like,
so annoying.
yeah, and the guy
Publishers.
would have sold them to Billabong of a Quicksilver photo just to destroy it. Like, here's 50 grand, just burn that fuck. So
What?
the dude, so I was real close with Ben Honey.
Yeah.
And he'd won the Australian DropKnee, the titles.
The guy that never made it but should have made it.
Yeah.
Really,
and there was photos of him. You surf with him.
Yeah.
He was doing fucking
I remember that footage you filmed of his air reverse.
Yeah.
The first DropKnee air reverse I'd ever seen, like a proper one.
And they had hell photos of him, and just randoms in general, but they were never let in the mag because they weren't part of the big three or Manta or it was kind of it was bittersweet. It was getting the best job ever and then finding out there's weird shenanigans that go on in the magazine industry, which is probably why it fucked out.
Because I remember
how long did you do that for?
I think 12 months before I was over it.
Burnt out.
Yeah. And I think I stayed there longer because I could go to parties and they go, "What do you do?" I was like, "I work at Riptide, motherfucker." Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. The first Christmas party they hired those what are the boathouse things? So I'd started there in November, and then it was basically
straight to a Christmas party.
Yeah, but they hired 2 boats and just it was basically drink, throw as much shit at the other boat, and like windows were getting smashed, and dudes, the Morrison sons would he's like, "Do you want some acid?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Just," and I was like, "Fucking no."
Whatever.
And they took it, and then they just started fucking shit got
Getting mental.
wild. Yeah. It's like a lame Pfizer party. There was hot chicks getting naked, jumping in. Yeah. But yeah, it was dope. Because I was starting to get here. I met Ben Honey and Josh Honey, and they were skateboard mad. So I was starting to get heavily into skateboarding and bodyboarding at the same time. So working for Slam Skateboard magazine was actually more fun in the end than Riptide. Because, bodyboarding meant everything to me. I was like, oh, what? These dudes aren't getting recognition just because they're not
in the big
you look
teams.
behind- Sorry, Hodjo, you say something?
They're just not in the big teams. Like, it was a fucking dirty business, the magazine business.
You had to have money to advertise in those. I think it must have been 30 or 40 grand for that double inside cover advert. So everyone wanted that. And then you'd have to go, we'll give you the second one and the last one, because the last one, or the back cover
That was a big deal too.
yeah, there was so much science behind it. When you picked up a Riptide magazine or a surf magazine, you looked at it and then you either
looked
looked
at the back.
Yeah, so that was worth a lot. But then it was
And the
always
center spread too.
center
was got,
spread inside cover. Yeah,
like the posters.
yeah.
Had to pull out the posters. That was a big deal. That would have been a big slice of the real estate.
Yeah, they had it all written. It was like first thing, and then there was center, but then it was like weird 7th page was one of the most
hotspot.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, super weird.
Yeah, it would have been the one after the contents. You know, how the contents was like 1 or 2 pages, and then there'd be another big ad,
Yeah,
and then it'd be the first couple of stories. But yeah, how cool was that? Because I remember living in Greymouth and getting the Riptides, obviously, but then hearing through the pipeline that the guy who owns Riptide is from the West Coast.
he's like, I grew up in a pub in Westport. He's like, what do you think about Buller Boys? Like, you fucking like cheating assholes and like I was just I was like, yeah, you're all dirty. He's like that, and he just gave me he's like, just send everyone else home. And the dude was actually freaked out. He's like, I can't, like, I have to interview him. He's like, well, just don't see you Monday. And I was like,
He's like, this boy's from the West Coast. He's got the job. Yeah, cool.
A lot of it was just fucking telemarketing too, but driving around the Goldie, it was it was pretty dope. And then I can't remember the editor's name. But if the surf started pumping, you would just shut down like that. The offices were just empty. They were all you just go to D-Bar.
I'm trying to think who that editor would have been. Might have been just before Rick Bannister when he took it over.
He wasn't there. Tom Carroll's brother was the editor of Surfing Life.
Oh yeah,
Like I shared an office for a little bit with him.
classic.
Yeah. They're nut, man. They would wake up at 5 a.m. and paddle from Burleigh to Stratty and back, him and Tom. But then Tom Carroll was found out for fucking juice up on amphetamines. Like, that's how he made it from Burleigh to fucking
I was
Stratty.
just about to say he came out. Remember, he came out and like publicly was like, "Yeah, I've been dealing with methamphetamine addiction for most of his career."
Isn't that Wingnut as well?
Yeah,
Wingnut's got a gnarly story, hasn't he?
yeah. Well, I think because Wingnut's dad died, and then it sort of went downhill from there for
Oh, yeah.
Wingy. Yeah, I think Wingy's
was
dad
like-
died. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry,
Sorry, I forget. It was like
There was promos of a gnarly documentary going to come out about it, but I've never seen if it
Yeah.
actually come out.
Yeah, have you seen the Shark Island Holding On doco?
No.
Oh,
No. Is it based around him or just Shark Island
the
crew?
whole crew.
Oh, yeah.
But it talks
wasn't
sort of
that good.
about that. I loved it.
Oh, how'd you didn't
I-
like it?
Well, different generation. See,
Shark Island
I-
had the toilet seat, eh?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. See, I absolutely frothed on Wingnut and all the boys. Like for me, it was part of my,
Again, you could tell they were gnarly crew.
so
It wasn't
gnarly.
all just style.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that doco. For me, it was really cool.
You have to watch that.
You should.
Man, there was some
actually-
big ass waves ridden at Shark Island, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. But all those old school,
Do they still have the Shark Island challenge?
they haven't had it for a few
That
years now.
melting double up that would come through.
They haven't had it for a few years, have they, Hodgie? I haven't seen any Shark Island comps in recent years,
think- Don't think so. No.
So
No.
did you ever get hazed at Blaketown, Hodgie? And like, did you ever do like the cool days? Like the
Nah,
Bruces or
man,
Brother
like-
would just you had to go on a wave that they called you into. Do you ever have
Oh
those?
yeah. My first few years was definitely like probably first like I don't know 5 years maybe there when the solid crew was out. Like all the old rippers. Like I definitely would never get a set wave or I'd just be getting the scraps. Like all the boys would just pedal past me. And like, oh fucking Christ, like, but it was welcoming at the same time. So I was never like, oh fuck off, bitch. But it was always like they'd pedal past me, like I knew my place, right? And then I think it all really changed my first year living. Oh yeah, it all really changed my first year living there, like in 2012. And then I
You
sort
actually
of
moved over.
moved over, and then I lived there until 2021 basically. And so I just became one of the crew. So, sort of earned my place there. But I never got the old school, like, hardcore stuff like from the 90s. That was kind of
If
like,
you didn't go on a wave that someone called you.
oh no, like, yeah. I remember especially those first couple of years, like I can remember Jolin, the Roddens, Frankie, like just calling me into waves and like, well, I better go. And it was obviously a closeout. And they I was like, I don't want to fuck them off. I better go.
I can remember getting called into one, and I just free fell, but I can't even remember hitting the water. I just ended up on the bottom somehow.
Just into the shocky, straight through the shocky.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know how it happened. I just free fell and was on the sand at the bottom of the ocean. I was like, well, and just fucking worked. But yeah, it
feel
was
like-
better than not going.
I feel like even back in those days, like way back in the early 2000s, like Blaketown was shallower. Like the corner would work more often.
It was way
I think-
better back then.
Because I literally
course.
remember like being in a couple of times, being in like a barrel, it would close out and I would literally hit dry sand, like in the barrel. Like I distinctly remember it. And then it hasn't happened since then.
Happened all the fucking time. All the
you
time.
don't know. No,
I have
literally
another
remember, like,
vivid memory of looking over and Clarkey was stuck in a hole in the rocks. Like had blown the jump off and got washed in and was like screaming like he was going to die in this hole in the rocks. And he's just like, we can't do anything. But then
Have you heard the story about Puff at the last year's comp?
no.
So Puff made a bit of a comeback. Haven't seen him this summer. I think it scarred him that much.
Love me some Puff Daddy.
I love me some Puff Daddy too. And it was so good having him around, and he was getting back into it. And then he came out in the comp. And
Become a good skater too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he didn't fuck the jump off, but what he did was he got stuck in the rip, like was gonna get, sucked around to cobbos.
Okay.
So he was trying to fight the rip.
Yeah.
And then he ended up just trying to catch anything, and he caught a wave and it went straight into the rocks. And then he got stuck in there. And he because he obviously had all his gas was fucking depleted. He had no energy, and he just got absolutely worked. It was the worst working I've ever seen on the rocks. Like almost like I was like we were all really scared.
Really? Shit.
And then he came in, I helped him in, and he had like garks. He was shaking. He's like, just help me get my weedy off. It was just so rattled, bro. Like, and fuck, and I haven't told you my story. I fucking almost broke my neck out there just recently, 5 weeks ago. Today,
that's
almost broke my neck
on a wave, or
I've just doing a silly little. I was just a small wave, 2 foot, drop knee, cut back reverse, and I just bailed off, and I just bailed funny, and I just went head first into the sand, and just crunch.
So you knew you were in trouble straight away?
Straight away. This arm was paralyzed for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It was fucked. So I haven't surfed since. 5 weeks.
Fuck.
Today, 5 weeks today.
So hospital?
Yeah. Flown over and
Ooh,
everything.
Damn.
Yeah, it was gnarly, bro. Real gnarly.
Did you have epiphanies?
I've had a few thoughts.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like a scare to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Give you
Have you ever had any like scary wipeouts like that anywhere on anything?
I went bungee jumping.
Right.
It was New Year's, I think, with Josh, Harvey. We all went down. Jay, Honey, Ben's older brother. He came over one New Year's, we come back.
Oh, so this is post Gold Coast.
Yeah, so Gold Coast, and Josh had never been over, so I was like, fuck, we'll go over and do New Year's.
Cool.
So everyone was going to Queenstown, so we went to Queenstown, and then I decided to bungee jump.
Right.
And have you done it?
Nah.
So you're up there.
Yeah.
And I'm all good with heights.
Yeah.
And then I looked over and went, oh, I'm not that good with heights. It's pretty fucking high, man.
Yeah.
And they put a fucking tea towel around your legs with like a strap.
And
they're like, right, we'll get you ready. You take these tiny little steps.
Yeah.
Look forward, count to 3, leap off. And I was like, okay, sweet. So he was behind me doing his thing, and I was looking down going, fuck, this is high. This sucks. Don't want to do this. This is dumb. And I think it was like $200 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't waste $200. Looked over at Josh, and he must have known that I was freaking out, and he just started laughing, like giving me shit. I was like, fuck. If I don't jump now, I probably won't jump. So I leaped off, and the dude screamed and went, oh, I forgot to fucking, he didn't tell me I was ready.
Oh my God.
So the whole way down, like I leaped off, and instantly your brain tries, it was a shallow, I was like, I can't like belly flop, or like I was trying to get myself from not dying. I was like, if I hit it at this, and I was like, no, I'm dead.
So did you know, because he said something as you
all I heard was a scream. I went, oh, I'm not ready. He didn't tell me to look forward and count to 3. And
so you're diving thinking,
just went,
fuck.
And then I heard him scream, and I can just remember like every part of me going, fuck, and looking at the water thinking it's not deep enough to dive into. Like everything slowed down, because it must only be a second probably from the, I don't know.
Maybe 2 or 3, maybe, if that.
And then a dumb one come in, like humans weren't meant to fly. I was like, super dumb. A normal person wouldn't have said that out loud on a podcast. But your brain's like trying to get you out of it. Like, how can I get out of this situation? I'm just committed suicide. And then I never traveled to like through Europe and never had kids. And that was the last thing. And then the rope pull, and I fucking power vomited over the poor dude there's a kayak with a stick. Like when you stop doing this, they a kayak with a boat with a stick.
Oh yeah.
Pull yourself down.
Oh, so you didn't. It did bungee.
Yeah,
you
so
didn't fucking go straight to the water.
And the relief, and the little dude with a stick, I said, fucking ralphed over the poor dudes in the boat that pulled you in. And then
I thought you were going to just go straight into the water.
Something was wrong, because apparently I just killed up into a fetal position. Like I did a beautiful swan dive, and then just went and did this they knew something, and they got me to shore, and the dude that was up there had run down. And like the whole thing sounds like fucking a
So
tall
that
tale.
guy fucked it up. Sounds like.
So what happened? Like he was screaming at me, and I didn't. My ears were just fucking. I couldn't. It was like, like I was.
You're in shock.
The adrenaline was. Yeah, it was pretty fucking weird. And they had took me to an office, and it turned out the dude, like the boss man, come in and said, "What happened?" And he's like, he fucking jumped off, and I was still getting him ready. He was standing in the fucking rope, and it ripped him and pulled his shoe off. Like he never went.
He almost went over.
And the dude's like, "How many fucking times have I told you you can't stand on the fucking roll?" And it's like and then he tried to blame
the guy.
Yeah, he's like, "No, he fucking." He's like, and then he's like, "We got to shut the whole thing down and call like Osh will have to come in
Oh,
for 3 days." And I was like,
investigation.
and he's like,
everything.
and he looked at me. He was like, "Unless you don't say anything." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "We'll give you your money back." And then we got.
You should have been like, and
Well, that's what happened. He's
Yeah.
like, "Is that?" I was like, "My mate's up there," and he's like, "Well, we do a thing called the awesome foursome." And I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Well, you get in the helicopter, raft down." And he's like, "We'll just give you all those vouchers and basically fuck off."
$1,200 worth of shit.
Yeah. So we had helicopter rides and went fucking rafting and all that. But
That's like kind of worked out. But
got back to the
still.
Goldie, dumped that MILF,
Yeah.
gave Josh my car, and 2 weeks later I was in fucking Thailand and
So
then
you
Europe.
did have a bit of a fucking.
But
epiphany.
the whole way down I was like, I never
It's
never
crazy. I'm just
traveled.
gonna go and grab the power cable. You guys keep talking.
Briggsy, they strapped you in, but they hadn't finished.
So I had that
strapping you in.
towel and something around me.
Yeah.
So I must have been strapped in, but he must have just been getting the rope ready
Right.
or pulling out of the barrel or something and wrapping it round or whatever. And then he was gonna stand beside me, and then you do that lookout. But I was like, I'm not gonna jump unless I jump out, and just fucking
Fuck.
and leaped to death.
So you did the bounce. You did the bounce.
Imagine your brain when you go, I just committed suicide by jumping off a fucking bridge with a pretend rubber band. Like, it's the dumbest thing. Your brain just went, "You fucking idiot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
But I was fucking gone.
Have you guys gotten scareder of heights as you've gotten older though? Because for me, when I was younger, I didn't give a flying fuck about heights. To jump off,
I get a weird
buildings into
thing-
trees and shit.
Even when I watch skate tricks on videos and they slam, my testicles go, "Oh!" Even
Well,
if it's not someone I know, or if I leap off things, I get a weird testicle twinge.
The thing for me is claustrophobia. Like,
Oh,
I have no idea how I managed to do a year working underground. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
Where were
Like,
you underground?
at Spring Creek.
Oh, no way.
And
So do you know, you must, Duma and Kirk Nielsen, old Kirk Nielsen there?
yeah, I met Kirk Nielsen. Like, we worked on opposite ends of the shifts because it was like a 24/7 operation. So
yeah.
he would be always on rolling the other side of the shifts. But
Okay.
I did meet him a couple of times. I knew he was an old school ripper, like
I still ride motorbikes and stuff with him, eh? Kirk?
oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, and surf.
and random, he's a muso too, eh? He plays
He's
in the
shred.
band.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's my fear that's like keeps growing is being trapped underground, like in small spaces. And I was thinking about it the other night. I was like, how the fuck did I manage to do I used to every single night I was underground.
You could
I
not
was just-
pay me to do that.
I was just like fucking
Ah.
I never got used to it. I never ever got used to it. Like I know,
Fishing, fishermen and fucking miners, man. You're crazy.
Yeah.
One's in the
Like Jade
middle of the
Morrison-
ocean where you just are
Mm.
fucked, and the other one's underground where you're fucked.
Was your dad anti? Did he want
I'm
you
the
to go out?
biggest disappointment.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dude.
Did he really want you to get out there and own your own boat and
Of course.
fucking take
Well,
over the business and all
We had
that?
the dairy farm too. Did you ever
Yeah.
come down to the dairy farm?
No.
So we had the dairy farm, and he wanted me to take over that too.
Yeah.
which I actually did love, farming.
Yeah.
And then we had the Barrytown pub, and I loved fucking working behind the bar too.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right, I did too. Fuck, there's so many chapters. We're probably gonna have to do like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
over
I was
the-
just
over the
telling
years,
a guy wouldn't believe me about the stuff that used to go at the fucking
at the
Barrytown
Barrytown pub.
pub.
I remember the
just get the
stories.
stray bussing and
The stories used to tell me of the Wednesday nights out at the fucking Barrytown pub were crazy.
just let's say I
All
got
the-
past that 100 mark pretty quickly.
You did. All the fuck buses coming
I
through.
remember getting a girlfriend because I was just sick of Strange.
Oh wow.
And then 2 weeks into it, I was like, what the fuck am I doing with the same vagina? This is dumb. I'm going back to the Barrytown pub. Let's go.
Because there's shit that, you started your own You started your own shops, your retail shops. You
Yep.
started your own little skate club in Greymouth.
I had a skate shop.
You had
Yep.
a skate shop.
Oh, I remember that. I remember your skate shop in town.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
had
It was
you
the
had 2 or 3
progression
different spots. Yeah.
of the bodyboard club. Basically, I just got into skating, and then there was it's the same sort of crew, like misfits, dudes that just
Max. and Those boys.
You had that really cool skate shop near the West Side Surf. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down Albert
That was
Mall.
you.
I had a little
Oh, yeah,
Albert
that was it.
Mall. No, I sold it to Westside, and they moved it next to her one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that yeah.
I had it up by what was the other bookstore called?
Yeah, you had the one down
What
by
called? No,
Take Note.
Take Note. Yeah,
Take note. Yeah, I remember that.
and
yeah.
Albert Street Mall. But same thing. You just seen all these kids that couldn't handle being in a club. I can remember going to the showers after the first game of league, like senior league. Everyone's just fucking naked, like 13 years.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, come on, then we'll go to the pub. I was like, no, I'm going home to shower. The fucking shower. And they're all homophobes in real life too. And you're just like, yeah, fucking come and
Isn't it-
shower with 13 other fucking dicks swinging at you.
You'd get
That was
naked
just
in
like
front of
what
a
it-
bus with like down the beach.
Yeah, but
Or you do.
there was a weird vibe.
Do you put a towel on? Do you not?
How many times did fucking towel get ripped off and you get smacked or something fucking thrown at you?
That was
Had
the
a
exact
penis.
same thing when I was at Spring Creek. Was like, like my first week there, and all these old blokes and shit, all oh fucking faggot, and then you go to the bathhouse and everybody's naked, having a beer in the shower, touching each other's butts, fucking swinging dicks. Like,
Some rugby dude said, "Oh, I've just joined Grey Valley Rugby, and they made me on the way back from O'Hara. They made me put a
Something
newspaper
up his
up his ass and light it, and you had to run across the bridge without dropping it or it burning out, or you had to start again." And I was like, "But you called my mate a fag the other day and hate." Like, what the fuck? He got, it was
so much.
there's some weird shit. Anyway, I couldn't handle it. But yeah, started the skate thing for the same reason I started the bodyboard club, just to get kids fucking that didn't want group sports to fucking do something.
You just wanted to get kids, really. That's all it was.
Wanted to get me some boys, little boys,
little boys.
wheel them in.
Boogie boarding wasn't
appearances
cool
at the
anymore.
shop
You get
today.
some little boys.
Little boys. Yeah, we're gonna have to come back and do a couple more because fuck, then you went overseas and you met Jen and like that whole chapter as well was crazy too. Like because you went over to the US for a big stint, eh?
Yeah,
Was
did
it-
2 years in Europe,
Yeah.
Southeast Asia, Europe, and then Brazil,
So-
Venezuela, Colombia, El Salvador, Costa Rica,
Oh,
Mexico.
he's been to Brasilia.
Brazil. It's a fucking big country. Hey, when I went there, I was like, sweet, I'll just bus here, and then like 21 hours is like the size of your fingernail on
yeah.
the map. I was like,
Oh,
I have
really?
fucked
Yeah.
I thought Sao Paulo was like 40 minutes to Rio.
I
It's gonna take me a long time to get to Venezuela.
used to I lived
I
there
never
for
really
9
got that
months.
good a surf though.
Sorry,
Oh
so
man,
much.
I lived there for 9 months, and I lived in this buttfuck city in the middle of nowhere. And I used to go I met there's this ripper called Renan Fashini. He's a pro still now, and I met those guys through social media. And they lived in a city called Santos, which has got fucking epic waves, and Ubatuba, which is like halfway between Sao Paulo and Rio. And I used to just get the bus. It was 10 or 12 hours on the bus to go and stay at his place. And I'd go and stay there for a week at a time. And they didn't have cars. They're all groms. They're all like 16 years old. And we used to get the bus everywhere and then walk fucking in the heat to all these surf spots. It was sick. Like, it was cool memories, but just to get to the waves would take like a fucking day. And then because like you don't have a car, you just have to stay at the beach the whole day, whether it was good or not. But we scored sick waves, like there's all these wedges, like they know all the wedges and reefs are, so we just surf all those. But yeah, that was good shit.
Did you
I got
surf?
good
Did
waves,
you
but
surf
no.
over in Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But never got epic waves. But yeah. Some pretty good ones.
Here's,
But yeah.
here's a big question for you. So, are you still a boogie boarder at heart,
Yeah.
or are you more?
So I've
you-
got a horrible 4-play 44-inch.
Yeah. You still got
But-
my old black one?
No, it did get retired.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
The kids fucking
Oh
ruined
yeah,
it.
of course.
sliding around on shit.
So you are a boogie boarder at heart, but you mainly ride in stand-ups these days. Well, you live in Nelson.
So I surfed. We had that cyclone swell,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm never going to paddle out on a surfboard. I'll get fucked up. So I took the booger out, and it was rough.
yeah.
Bottom turn and everything was still there, and I thought, fucking sweet, reverse.
Prone.
Yeah. Just like double cramp. Nothing really worked.
No.
It's pretty rough. Look at it. But there was,
You're like, damn it,
there's
I
still
have lost-
twinklings a
I've
bit.
lost some stuff.
But
Yeah.
the knee, I still got a little bit of the knee, but nothing.
Cool.
But I was like, okay, the knee's still there. But
Mm.
yeah, even though I've stand-up surf for a long time,
Mm.
DropKneeing is still way harder
Mm.
and way more rewarding.
Yeah, it is.
But I transition. You get addicted to the speed of a stand-up surfboard.
Yeah,
That's the
right.
problem.
Okay.
Because when I surfed in Europe or the States or even Aussie, you go to different. If you didn't surf D-bar, like Kira, you get left behind
Mm.
on that way. You've surfed Kira,
I've
obviously.
surfed Kira, and
You
I've
just
never
had to
getting stuck.
rage.
Never getting stuck in the barrel.
Yeah, it just goes.
Yeah.
And then I just started to get fucking sick
Sick
of
of
it. Yeah, and Mike
did
Perry.
you get into it?
I shaped my own
Aussie?
surfboard. Me and Ben got to go to Mike Perry, he was the one
UFC fighter.
he was a surfboard shaper, but convinced Australian Surfing Life magazine to put the Riptide in the back because he said, "Oh, there's a big uprising." Anyway, he was a shaper, and his son started bodyboarding, and then we got to shape our own boards, and we were like, "Fuck." And so I just made a pointy bodyboard with 4 fins on it, and then that was
So you got into stand-up surfing in the Goldie.
Yeah. Just on and off when it was shit or fat, you'd take the stand up out.
Yeah.
And then
Makes a lot of sense. Well, look at Smiddy. That's what he did. That's what Bradley started to stand up surf when he was over there.
And,
just the natural progression. If you're not living near like heaps of consistent bodyboarding waves, you don't really
yeah.
It's like you, Hodjo. You're a stand-up
Shut
master.
up.
Hey?
I got back on the booger at San Clemente where apparently Roach lives around there somewhere.
Huh?
And I was like, oh, I gotta imagine if I can find where Roach lives, I'm gonna go
Get
surf
the white pages.
yeah.
Roach.
Yeah.
Roach, P. Roach. Is Paul there? What the
Oh,
fuck
call
do you
back.
want?
Oh, I still every now and again look up cartels, but they won't send it to New Zealand. I was like, come on, I need a Roach in my garage.
Surely they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy the best of
Bodyboarding
both
podcast.
worlds. You got
What's
to
that,
enjoy the
Hodgie?
best of both. You got to enjoy the best of both worlds, eh?
Yeah, I've started stand-up surfing too.
Have you?
You can't
I'm
stand
real, I'm real
up.
good.
Dang.
I'm
You
real
can't
good at it.
stand up.
I can 20% of the time.
I live in fucking Nelson, so you just progressively get worse.
What's frustrating for me, Briggsy, is like this. So I just want those like nice, cute days, 1 to 2 foot days here, just to sort of get my feet. And there's hardly ever any 1 to 2 foot days, so I hardly ever surf.
So how long are you out of the water still for now?
Yeah, I feel pretty crooked actually. This neck's getting a lot of action tonight. I'd say another 2 to 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
hoping to be back in by now, but
Because I got the 6'3" soft top with me.
I've got a 5'8". I've got a
Have ya?
5'8" soft top, quad fin, JOB.
Getty. Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
What are those things called?
What
Get
are
the
they
psych
called?
meter going.
Catch surf.
Psych meter.
Catch
Should we do the McFakes takes?
Yeah, what is
Mix
this
it up.
Mick Pakes takes?
So it's Ben McPake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Benny. He likes to every now and then send us a few random questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the good bodyboarder?
She really saw.
Then
Yeah.
decided to get naked yoga Instagram model, dude.
That's Ben McKinnon. He listens. Shout out to B Mac.
I can remember you just showed me and I was hell body on you. Fucking rig. What a rig.
Got a good rig.
Is he still doing it? Are we still doing it?
Yeah.
Damn.
I love chatting to him because he's got many phases.
What is it?
Many phases.
At Naked Yoga. What do we got?
I don't know
Yeah.
what he's currently called now. It's like Modern Buddha. Modern Buddha Yoga is his current handle.
Okay.
But he's still doing. But he's all about his lucid dreaming. He does lucid dreaming workshops and stuff. Have you ever lucid dream before?
No, but Josh tried to give up cigarette smoking and put 12. He got real drunk and ended up with 12 Nicorette patches. And yeah, told me about his dreams the next day. It's pretty fucking.
Well, he might have had some nicotine induced lucid dreams.
So I don't know. Lucid is, you obviously feel, you can't tell between reality
No. Lucid dreaming is when you're in the dream and you realize, oh, I'm in a dream. And then
That's what I just said. You couldn't know if it's reality or not. If it's sleep or reality.
no, you know it's sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But-
you're conscious that you're in the dream state. So it's like I can do whatever the fuck I want in this dream.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you
There's
drugs?
lots of ways. No. It's all to do with meditation.
Naked yoga.
Naked
You got to be
yoga.
naked in
You
front
gotta-
of him.
In front of him. He's gonna be behind you, and he's gonna
Fuck,
tap
here we
into
go.
your
Yeah.
into your chakras.
Yeah.
All
All right, sorry, Hodgie. What do we got?
What's the first question for McFake's takes? Have
Are
you
they
got
just
that, producer?
random bodyboard, like
No,
the
it's
one I
just-
sent in about top 5?
Yeah. Well, you'll see.
Did he steal it from me?
Maybe. I think it might have been you. It should be called McBriggsy's.
Briggsy's takes. Yeah, it's some good
Briggsy's.
takes. Okay. First one. Well, actually,
Read.
I just want to wrap up.
Did we get points?
Yes. I want to
Where's
wrap
the
up the
buzzer?
Briggsy.
yeah.
I want to wrap up the
Jim's
Briggsy
kicking it.
interview. Briggsy, what is the like? We asked this for all our guests, except Jolin didn't do it for Paulus or Frankie. Oh, good
Oh,
enough.
slight dig. Slight dig. Carry on.
What was your heaviest moment ever in the water?
As in wipeout.
Anything. It can be anything to do with being in the water.
So at the 13 mile, I mean,
Oh, it's a secret spot. Oh,
that's why I just said, I mean,
I actually meant 17, but anyway, we'll go 13.
anyway, a spot that I surf in the corner at the coast.
The corner. Oh, the coast corner.
It was
the
about,
Coast Road
it had
corner.
been, it's a bit of a swell magnet. So it was small everywhere else, but this gets a little bit more swell. So, but it wasn't big, but I had a howl surf the night before with Jacob Weiner and Daniel Smith. Remember the Smith? Didn't even meet them. Anyway,
Dan Smith. I remember Dan Smith. He's not from here, though, eh?
no,
Or is
they,
he?
no, they were
No.
from Aussie and then they were here and then they went back to Aussie.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, they ran Dad's farm, dairy farm. Anyway,
Okay.
so we'd been booging the last 2 nights there, and then I turned around and they'd gone in and they were just waving at me at the beach. And I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. You don't know what the fuck was going on. And then it wasn't a goodbye wave. It was like,
Boy, come in or something.
what are those? The fucking star jump
Yeah,
wave.
like-
And I was like, that's weird. Turned around and the fucking fin just went underwater. I was like, well, I'm dead. I'm clearly about to die because sharks go down and then it's just going to eat me from the bottom.
Yeah.
And I was like, you do that thing with, oh,
Lift your legs up.
you're not meant to panic. Just keep your heart rate. And then I was like, fuck that. I just started. All I
Boosting.
can remember is I'm going to die. It'll be dumb if I'm just going.
Just freeze.
Yeah, with my heart rate going and just get eaten. I'm fucking going for it. And then all I can remember, I can't remember catching the wave, but I can remember being on the whitewater and then my eyes fogging up. I don't know if it's adrenaline thing again or panic. And I actually couldn't see. And when I got to shore, I was like screaming at them, like, I can't see. And they were like, what the fuck's going on? But I'd panicked that much that my eyes were just fucking fogged. And then I just,
kind of shutting down, protecting yourself.
and then I started dry reaching and we just watched this thing. And it turned out there was a fishing net that had been caught like in the rocks. I don't know if there was like dead fish.
Oh.
And we sent all these fucking buoys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was fucked. And then about a week later, it was pumping and I paddled out because you surf by yourself all the time on the coast road. Well, I did. And I just couldn't handle it. I was like, fucking, there was just something out of the corner of my, yeah, it was fucked.
It was spooked
it
you.
was 6 solid months. I just couldn't. I just
Really-
couldn't do
really
it. Even at
fucked you.
Blaketown, I was like,
Fucked you over.
fuck. Yeah, yeah.
Because probably was a great white, maybe. Because they do go up and down this coast.
Yeah, it was fucking big
Yeah.
because it was coming pretty shallow because you could see its back fin too. But then my old man's like, "Oh, it won't be a great wall if you can see the back part too." But I was like, anyway,
No.
yeah,
Be like a big blue shark or something like that. Like
it
blue
was
sharks can be fucking
way
aggressive.
bigger than me.
Yeah.
And your brain, it's funny when you see dolphins or a shark, you go, "Oh, we're dumb in the water,"
Mm.
like compared to them.
Oh, yeah.
You're not getting up and running away from it. I was like, "Fuck it." Same thing as bungee jumping. Like
Yeah.
humans can't fly. I was like, I can't swim for shit.
Because the worst thing to do, because I remember it was a few years ago now.
Yeah.
And this chimes in with the story about the shark. Is there was rumors that there was great whites in Greymouth, and I was like, what the fuck?
Blako's had been black flagged a few. Were you there
No.
when they shut down the beach? Because
Yeah, there's a big school sharks that year.
yeah, I don't know if it was just like yellow fins, like, but they were every. We could
I
actually
remember
see
they were
them.
coming up the river.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
But so it was all on. People were talking about it, and I was like, "Fuck, I might just check the old trackers because there's so many tags now. All the big great whites, they're all tagged." And
you posted this, didn't you?
I might have,
And
but
it fucked me up because you're like, "Hey, look at Nelson." I was like,
you can actually go online.
Yeah,
Don't do this.
No,
'cause
don't
it's
do it.
Fucking like, unless you
I
don't
can
even want to
remember
surf
this.
again.
Yeah.
And you can actually go online and check all the shark tags, all the great whites. And I remember having a look, and I was like, "Oh, cool. There's 5 going past, like from the coast heading south, like all in different parts of the coast, just heading south." And I was like,
Didn't they double
Oh,
back or
this
something
is-
crook on the
this is
video
not
you
cool.
posted?
This
They
is
had
not
white
cool.
line going, "Hey, I'll just come back up the coast again." Yeah.
Terrifying.
Don't
Absolutely
do that,
terrifying.
people.
No.
So you've all answered these before.
I think so.
It's the same questions every time, Haji.
What's that? The
Biggest beating. Or
The
scariest
heaviest.
moment.
the heaviest moment. What, for all of us?
Yeah, have you answered this before?
Have we done it, Giles? I don't know
I
if
think
we
we
have.
have. I'm sure we have. I've
Dunno.
definitely talked about my biggest wipeout at Blako's
I
before.
think we have.
I
Okay.
definitely have. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Okay.
I've never really had like a real insane experience.
Well, mine's probably. I have to update mine. Mine's
Yeah, the new one.
recent. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely,
Yeah,
Giles.
And I've
Yeah.
talked about that.
There's been heaps of
recently.
times where you would have been scared, like caught in a rip or fuck,
Yeah.
I surfed cloud break and it was too big for me. And I was like, I'm going to die.
Fuck, you've surfed grab right. That's
Surf cloud break, surf pipe, surf backdoor.
nice.
Yeah.
Did you bugger or did you stand up?
Stand up.
Have you surfed Koro though?
That's one of those mythical stories that all you Bromley and that talk about.
It does get good.
Although
Trust me, it
We
does.
surfed like 2-foot triple J's. Is that what it's called?
Oh no, that's Triple J's.
4Js.
4J's.
Oh, pony.
You took me
what?
what? Yeah, you took me there one day, and it was just A-frames everywhere. And we had
Combo swell, bro.
We had-
Pumps every time.
we got like a dozen DropKnee barrels each, and it was stupendous. It's like, well, what just happened right now? So then I started to believe the stories. Going, I was
Yes.
like, damn.
Mate, that's the funniest, the laziest locals in the entire world, Briggsy, are you Blaketown fucking locals.
Well,
Like
I'm the worst. At least
You're-
Briggsy comes from the coast road, so he's got that.
yeah, I got to work. For it.
He always
Yeah,
has
true.
that,
Yeah, true.
um,
I'll give you
yeah,
that.
what's the word?
Yeah.
He's
'Cause,
got
like-
that thing in him that he loves to travel and search for waves. Where
Some
I
of the
don't, because
best-
Blaketown's so consistent. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So some of the best waves I've ever surfed on the coast were in at Blaketown. Like, yeah.
Trying to get any
You
of
don't
these
know.
boys to come out the coast was just. You did come to 12 Mile once.
Maybe once.
Yeah, and you had
I had
it was
fun.
pretty good.
It was fun.
it was
little
heavy.
lefts, little left-handers.
Yeah, that's my favorite little fucking DropKnee spot.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. There's so many sick waves on the coast, man. It's out of control.
No, there's not.
Okay.
Shit, don't come here.
Don't come.
Yeah, don't come out the coast
off.
road. That's for sure.
Boy, can I just quickly chime in? It has been a real busy summer, bro. Honestly, of the amount of new faces that I've seen at Blaketown, just Gumbies paddling out, seeing people out there thinking, "Oh, people are surfing. I'll paddle out," and then I just watch them do not make any drops, and it's just like,
But it's
oh well,
been happening in Nelson. You'll finally get a big swell,
oh, and every fucking clown.
but
that
it's
comes out.
Gumbies with
Oh no.
diving wetsuits.
Oh, no.
And fucking one had a windsurfing board and just thought, yeah, I'll paddle out at one of the biggest days in Nelson. And you just think, well, yeah, they get carried away way down to the lighthouse. You think, well, that guy's fucking dead.
My,
But yeah, I
my
don't know what's
favorite,
happened lately. Maybe lockdowns. People's like, I'll just try this shit.
I'm
Look at
surfing
these.
now.
Yeah,
I'm surfing now.
yeah.
my favorite one is always like at Blaketown is when the randoms turn up and they'll paddle out, and especially when it's a big day, and they'll paddle out like 20 meters away from the rip, and they'll spend like half an hour trying to paddle out, and he's like, just use the rip, you fucking retard.
Oh yeah,
Like, I don't know how many times I've seen that happen.
But it's
eh? Like,
it's intimidating
intimidating.
spot.
because
Yeah.
you're like, how far do I keep going? And the rocks are right there. Am I going to get smashed on these rocks?
am I going to
Remember
get washed
Rosie
off
saying
these
you won't
rocks?
get. It may feel like you're going to get washed onto it, but you won't. You just stick behind it. But there's fucking no way. I was like, there's fucking no way. You're definitely going to get washed onto those rocks, but you just never seem to, did you?
No.
You just always got pushed off at the last second.
Yeah. That's cool.
Random thing. Didn't did you save someone from killer whales that fell out of the sky with a fucking parachute didn't work?
What are you talking about?
Okay, might have been Bromley and Jay. Someone at Blaketown, a skydiver fucking didn't open and went, and then killer whales were going past, and they went out in bodyboards, saved a chick, and brought her back in, and got like medals at school. Or
Oh wow!
I'm sure that's Jay and
wasn't
Bromley
around.
and you.
Nah, that's not me. I would remember that. I saved a guy from drowning at Blaketown once though.
The kayak dude and
No,
No.
that's hilarious. That guy.
that was funny.
He's screaming.
Yeah,
We've had some good chats about that.
yeah.
But I'll quickly tell this story. So it was summer day about 10 years ago, and there's this family just swimming in Blaketown, and you'd never see people just swimming and they're swimming in the rip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a guy. I'd just come in from a surf.
Yeah.
It was a guy, his missus, and their daughter who looked about 10 or 12. And the mum and the daughter were all swimming in the rip, and so was the dad. And then they realized, oh fuck, we're getting sucked out. So they paddle in, and then old dad doesn't make it. And so I just got out of my wedding, and I looked at him, and he's looking back at his missus and his kid, and he's like waving, and they're like, hey, and he's like, fuck. And then he looks up, and I'm like, do you want me to come get you? And he's like, yep. So I just run down and put some shorts on, just run down on my board flippers. I was like, oh, grab this, and we just paddled over, catch a wave. And he's like, thanks, mate. I actually probably was going to die. And I'm like, yeah, you would have died actually.
Yeah.
Sketchy, eh?
Have you ever been pushed out and had to go to Cobden?
Just the once. What about you?
Yeah.
Yes.
You learn pretty fucking quickly.
Joe, you haven't, have you yet? Or you have? I can't hear you, mate. You've gone audio.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have.
You've
sorry.
heard the story.
It's Aaron. It's Nate Smith who hasn't done it. Yeah.
Nate Smith hasn't gone. Yeah.
Sorry.
Me and Jolin were talking about experience points for so there's certain things that you have to do at Blaketown to earn a certain amount of XP. We were saying like, what was it? 30 XP if you end up getting dragged to Cobden. So we've all earned that 30 XP.
Yeah.
You know, to get to 100. What was the other one we saw recently that when I was over recently, Jolin, we were talking to someone, he got what was that?
I can't remember. I should have written it down. That was a good little funny chat we had about XP.
We were talking to the guy from Christchurch or something, and we were like, "Oh fuck, what happened?" Let me have a think because it was funny. Yeah.
Anyway, let's do these McFakes takes, eh?
Yeah, and enter Sting here. God damn it, I had to find it.
Put
We
the
did a
sting in
sting
there,
for it, Briggsy. We got a little, like radio stings. You know what I mean?
It's pretty gay. It's like a 30-second song I made up. It's pretty shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well,
Put the stings there.
yeah. What band's worse, Creed or Nickelback?
It's a
Or
trick
what band's
question.
better?
Aha. You think I'm going to fall for that?
Oh, I'm gonna answer. Creed's better than Nickelback in my opinion.
Nah.
They're both so fucking gay.
No, you have to choose one though. You got to
You had to choose.
There was literally no choosing.
But do it.
What did you say?
I said Creed's better than Nickelback.
Wait, which one?
What? Look at this photo.
Oh my god! I was just trying to say, what's the one about the fucking photo? Who's that? Then?
That's Nickelback.
Oh yeah.
And then Creed is, can you take me higher? A little riff.
Killer ballads. Both killer ballads. This is really tricky.
Creed's way better. Actually,
I'm going to say
I'm not going to admit that I had a Creed CD once.
I'm going to say Nickelback because I can remember me and Brumley just losing it in the car after like hearing it for the first time and saying that. Look at this photograph. We're like, this can't be fucking real. Yeah. So just for
memories.
memory points.
What about you, Hodgie?
I'm gonna go Creed just because like you can do anything with the lyrics, and Jolin and I sing Creed to each other on quite a regular basis out in the water.
I can't remember. What's the next part of that? Look at this photograph. It's about who's in the photo, isn't it?
Every time I look, it makes me laugh.
What am I doing here? And what the hell is on someone's face?
Yeah.
So good.
Which brings us to the real question is, how have you not had a number one hit when dudes can sing that shit?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Timing.
Marketing.
He must have sucked someone's cock on someone's music producer's thing.
Marketing. Butt
I
rock.
was just going to sing one of your songs. My name is
Joe.
Joe. Yeah.
His name is Joe.
Do you
I used to hate
think
that song.
if,
by the way, 'cause that was like it was like the song that everyone requested. It was like play Joe, and it became an absolute tiresome song for me to play.
wasn't there controversy about a song about a pie and that dude with the scooter and the dimple bottom reckon he made it up and you sung it? Am I remembering? That's a weird memory.
I can't believe
Is it real?
it's true.
Yeah.
So I used to hang out with Raymond Beckford.
Raymond Beckford, there we go.
found out that we both could play guitar,
Okay.
and I went round there, and he didn't write the song, but he had the riff, like the jam. It was pretty much like Smells Like Teen Spirit, but one chord was different.
Okay.
So it was like dun, 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 dun. And then I was like, oh, that's cool.
Can
then-
I
And then yeah, it's like can I
have a piece of pie?
yeah. And then so I stole his chord progression
Okay.
and then fleshed a whole song out of it.
Okay.
So
I
he
can
wrote the
remember coming
chords.
to class and fucking was gutted at you. Because
Gutted.
did you play it at assembly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was like, fucking Joe.
Definitely my song. But he started
a
it.
piece of pie. Yeah.
I'll definitely give you a shout out, Raymond. You did write that first.
Random
bar.
memory to come in there. Yeah.
Good
I
memory.
remember him just being gutted. He's gonna get all the pussy, and I wrote that song.
I probably got no pussy, but anyway, I was 15.
Mhm.
Okay, question number 2 from McFake.
All right. If you had to fuck one animal, what would it be?
Oh God.
Fucking Rosie should answer this shit.
Yeah,
Can you hear by the fucking sound it? Do you think his missus is gonna listen to
Gonna
that?
go to jail for this?
My brain goes, well, do you go to like monkeys because they're
Yeah,
close
'cause
to
they're
us, so it's not,
similar.
and then but it's uber creepy.
Yeah, it's
So
like
no.
it's like hooking up the Down syndrome kid or something.
Oh. Don't go with the retards.
It's just a joke. I'm gonna answer and say
You obviously don't want
Dolphin.
something that'll bite you.
a dolphin because they fuck all the time, and I reckon they'd probably be okay with it because they like sex.
But it'd go pretty quick, and it's like 3 seconds. It's over.
Yeah,
so
that's
you're
me, so I'm good. This is a weird question, Ben, but carry on. Your turn now. Good luck.
Can you remember Bang Chong? Hot
Rings
Asian
a
chick on
bell.
the Goldie. Everyone wanted the Bang
Yeah.
Chong. Nuffy, everyone was trying.
Bang Chong.
Yeah. And she was hot. And
She's not an animal. Well, technically she is.
She wasn't an animal.
well, no, this is the 3-second thing. I was like, yes, I'm finally getting to get to slay her.
Oh, you
And
did.
That was
And it was over before it began.
literally when I put it on, I went, uh-oh. This feels way too good. And you just stuck there going, if I move it. Yeah. Anyway. Happens to all of us. That's XP points.
That's minus
30
XP points.
30 XP points.
Animal. Well, that's a mammal, so you fucked that up. So
Really? Did I?
you said animal. I'll go if you can do mammal, I'll go bald eagle. That's just
Wow.
that's a bird.
That's a bird.
Yeah. But it's not an animal, it's a bird.
But can you give us a reason why?
Because you're doing a dolphin. It's what's
Oh,
better than
okay.
dolphin. Just fuck.
Okay.
Massive bald. Yeah.
I
It's like
can't
what
picture it.
Putin would do
I can't picture it.
on back of a
It's going to
horseback.
claw you.
Animal.
Righto, Hodge, your turn. Good luck.
Wait, does McPake does
He
he have a list of it though? His answers?
Yeah.
Is he like, oh yeah, sheep,
No, he doesn't
donkey.
actually chime in on the
Oh,
answers.
Come
does he?
on.
No, he never chimes in. We'll have to get him back on.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
get
have
him
to
back on for his
round
weird
2.
things.
I guess I'm
Um,
gonna go sheep because
Mhm.
it's
Classic
New
Aussie.
Zealand, you know.
Yeah, Aussie payout.
Yeah, you might as well do it and just then the Aussies can have it.
Fuck.
Little sheep fuckers.
Then you can say, no, I actually have fucked a sheep.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, fucking you can't. You can't all fuck
Well, I'd
sheep.
like to know if the old gumboot tricks work. You know, the back legs go on the gumboot so they can't run away. Isn't that the old saying?
Yes.
Yeah. They keep on wrapping back in here. Yeah, let's see if that shit works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pay to see that.
I don't know. Like a tiger?
It's going to be ouchies.
So sedated, obviously, or
Something like that, eh?
the old.
Roofied tiger.
Yeah, who's the black comedian dude
Which one?
that gave all the
Chappelle?
rupees to the Bill Cosby?
Oh,
old Bill Cosby.
yeah,
Cosby trick.
Bill Cosby, a tiger.
Cosplay.
I've been hearing rumors that he's going to try and come back on tour. Stand
He's
up.
out of jail.
stand up tour. He
At
wants to come. He's trying to make a comeback.
Yes.
Imagine all the
He paid himself out. Yeah.
I think that'd be the way to go.
Yeah, you got to pay yourself out.
Yeah, he could make a comeback. Righto, Hodgie, number 3.
Number 3. Are we currently in the swooiest season on record on the West Coast?
Well, you can't really answer that because you're not really here, but it is quite sweaty, and I have been very swooey.
Have you been wiping your bum at the end of the day, like just around about 5 p.m.?
Let me just say that sometimes I'll go in for a poo in the afternoon. You know when you go for a poo and you actually don't need to go, and you're like, oh, I'll just do a safety wipe. I've had sweaty days where I've gone for a poo, nothing's come out, and then I've just gone, I reckon I'm quite swooey down there. I'm interested to know for science. I'm interested to know what's going to come up on this paper. And I've done a safety wipe, and it's been full brown smear, like a full brown smear of swoo poo on the papes. It's not good, man.
Swoo on the papes.
Swoo on the papes, bro. And I think it is probably the swooiest season I've ever had, to be honest.
You know what the other issue, Briggsy, is that when John's on his toilet, right? So if you lean too far to the left, the toilet actually starts to tip over.
It's one of the old
Does tip.
prongs broken on one
I
side.
think so, yeah.
I've nearly
because-
fallen off it so many times.
Why would you?
I don't care.
Waste of time and money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't answer for the coast, but
What's
now
now
that
it's
you-
been like Spoofest?
now that you've said that, here's another question. If you go poo normally, clean getaway, are you washing your hands on? I'm not, clean getaway.
Yeah.
Did you wash your hands after that?
I might do just like a courtesy turn the tap on and turn it off if anyone's in the house. But if I'm by myself, I'm not washing.
No, that's the nature saying. Good one, man.
Yeah.
You never
good to go.
you never guaranteed a clean getaway. Oh yeah.
It's such a good feeling, though.
Well, I get a clean getaway sometimes. Do you not, Hodge?
I'm too fat for that, mate.
Don't get a clean getaway.
I've had a clean. I've had like
Ghosty.
poos where I'll
Ghost poo.
never. I've had poos where like I'll like wipe once and it's only a little wipe, but never. I
Never
can't.
just clean.
Nah.
I'm saying 30% of mine are clean.
30. I'd say
What?
I'd say 15% of my pooies are probably 10. 1 in 10. 1 in 10 I'd be for a ghosty. It's such a good feeling because you're like, how good's that?
So you don't even do it like Joel.
But then
like a
1 in
safety
10
wipe?
is
Sorry to say.
You never do a safety wipe.
Oh no, yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you got to do the first wipe.
Yeah.
And there's nothing.
you're not
on
just
there.
hoping
It's
and praying that
the
it's
first. No, yeah. What are you talking about? This guy.
What the
You got to do a wipe. Come on.
Dude, that's fucking Russian roulette. Yeah,
Oh,
you're talking
man.
some crazy shit there.
If you run out of toilet paper, that's the only option you do is just hope for the best.
Jump in the shower. And
How good's
silence.
and silence? That must be. I think we probably should wrap it up. Are we?
What was that? What? Oh, sorry, I missed that. Sorry,
No,
I'm
we
getting a
Just
bit.
thought you were crazy if you thought we were fucking just
Mm,
rolling with it. I said it was a clean.
No,
getaway.
I would think you. I would
Hey,
think you
check
were
nothing
crazy.
there, then you're fucking out of there.
Yeah, I would think you're crazy if you weren't doing safety wipes.
And there's the opposite, where you're like, you know what? I don't care what's on this bit of paper. I give up.
yeah. Like when you get up to 12, 13, and you're like, oh,
It's like,
this.
you know what? Fuck.
Like the toilet's going to get blogged soon.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I've given up. And then 10 minutes later, you go back and it's ready. It comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you've scissored too early, eh?
Really? Again? Fuck.
It's so annoying.
Right. We got any more? Any more
No,
questions?
I think that's
No,
it.
that's all. That's all
And
for
I-
me.
That's a
Takes,
weird
takes.
fucking question.
Jesus.
Oh.
I
Oh,
think
they're
that's
always
probably-
weird. That's what we like about them. He comes from a
Yeah,
strange
he's good.
place.
I-
He lives
I
in
rate
Blaketown,
him.
mate. He's a strange boy.
I rate the weirdness. It's good. Thanks, Ben.
There was one bodyboard in there. Question.
Was there?
Thanks,
The
Ben.
heaviest wipeout, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this has been pretty good.
Thanks,
I
mate.
think I got over the nervous part.
I think you did.
Yeah, mate.
It's weird trying to get everything in.
There's never enough time. That's what we've found. So we'll get you back at some stage
Wow.
if you feel
Then
like
you
it.
get to this age and you just think there's this diabolical story.
Well, there's so many that you
Sex,
haven't really
drugs, and rock and roll.
touched on. So I reckon I would next time you come on, have a good think about some real debaucherous
Oh,
yarns.
that
Love
anal
them.
sex thing with that chick.
I love them. Yes. Want to hear all of them.
Oh man, have you ever had an STD test?
What do you mean?
Ha-
Of course I have.
So I went to the Goldie. Do you know Pelican? Oh, you know, Pelican. Okay. Hey, did you go? Did you think of the Deftones in Melbourne and go, I should just see that for Briggsy?
I did see them.
You did watch them,
Yeah,
and
that was sick.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loved them.
Best band there.
No,
He's getting a bit chubs now. I'm a bit
he is Chubbs.
Yeah.
He rocked the white tee. The white tee worked okay for him,
Okay.
but they were still so
I did
tight.
Did grow a goatee to try and look like Chino one day.
Oh god.
Yeah, it
One
didn't work
negative thing about that band is their sound was weird. It had a weird fuzz going on. I don't know what was going on.
Well, that's clearly engineer, wouldn't be that?
Yeah,
They've moved to
Definitely
Orange
engineer.
Amps, which I don't know who owns that, but
I quite like Orange Amps.
Okay.
Cool.
one day Pelican said, I'm going to get an STT test. Do you want to come? And I was like, okay.
Sure. See what's happening down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you do the test, but they won't ring you. They ring you back up and like, oh, we've got your results. And I was like, oh yeah, let me have it. And they're like, oh no, you got to come in and do it.
Oh
and,
no.
And I was like, well, I'm fucked. Like
something bad.
Yeah.
AIDS.
But it's routine. I think they can't tell you
AIDS.
over the phone. Anyway,
Beastman AIDS.
the guy's like, have you had unprotected sex? And I was like, a couple of times, but I knew the chick. Like it's all good.
all good.
Full greenhorn.
Yeah.
21, 22, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like got the sheet of paper and we're on an uncomfortable fucking chair. And he's like, right. I think it was like A to Z, but it was like chlamydia. And then he like looked down and then looked up and I was like, oh, I've got chlamydia. And I'm just like grabbing it, like it's creaking and stuff. And he's like, clear. And I was like,
Oh, he's doing that one. He's listing them and giving
he
him
did
like
the whole fucking list of fucking, and then the last ones he's like,
AIDS.
I hate to do this to you, but AIDS. And I was like, just basically fuck. And he's like, the best pause, this old dude, and he's like, clear.
Oh.
And he's like, are you going to sleep with chicks unprotected? I was like, fuck. And I ran out, and Pelican's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I was like, "Fucking nothing. I'm going to the car, man," which spooked him out. And apparently, he did the same thing to fucking Pelican.
That's his wee game.
It was fucking 10 minutes of hell waiting for that dude, just like chlamydia.
Oh my
Look
god!
down.
What an arsehole. Have you never had the clap?
Clear.
Have
No.
you never had it? Don't lie. Don't lie to
It's-
me.
Pussy shit coming out your cock in it.
I don't
I
know.
don't even know what it is. You've obviously never had it.
Never.
I've watched Bradley raid his own cock. A whole can of. Are we allowed to say?
Oh, fuck.
He got crabs. Were you there with that?
Oh.
And got the whole can of raid and just fucking like, and he was screaming at himself because it was burning, like the whole can of that 30% extra raid because it had insects on it, and he's just fucking. Yeah,
I remember that story.
yeah. He shaved everything. He never went to the doctor, and he just like made up stories to fucking Alice. Oh yeah,
We're good now.
having sex for a week or something. Fuck yeah.
Oh god.
You must have the craziest stories of fucking Swampy, and because you got hard into the dancing.
Oh,
party
yeah.
scene.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never went down that road.
No, we can. I've got so many stories.
I would
to
come
talk
over
about
and
that.
just freak out about you guys. Oh, they're dead. They're all going to become junkies. Like
Yeah, right. We got locked and
Silver
loaded.
pants and fucking going to Ray. I was like, what is happening? Or not even going anywhere, just in that crazy ass flat with Swampy and
Yeah.
like, what's this?
Westburt.
Oh, this is for horses. We've got to weigh ourselves, and then you can work out the fucking. If you're 80 kilos, you have 8 fucking. I was like,
Yes.
what are you talking about right now?
Yeah, we've got loose, son. We got
Ketamine or some fuck. It was. I didn't know what was going on.
Let's just say we experimented a little bit in our younger years. It was fun.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a year of absolute debauchery when on the Gold Coast.
See, is Swampy alive?
No, he passed
Oh,
away
Really?
just recently.
50.
No.
He was older, a little bit
A
older.
little bit older. I think he was only about 40.
Did his heart give out?
Yeah.
Damn.
But then it went, I think he had other shit. He had heart problems and he had stuff. He had a stroke. I think in his
it
last,
has to be related from going hard in the
I
paint.
think it might have because he did put on a bit of weight and I think he might have still been partying. I'm not sure, but
So
um,
drinking weight. Do you think? Or...
maybe, I don't know. But I heard from people that, because
Ooh, what a shame.
I'd lost touch with him for years. Then he just passed away. Like everyone was like, fuck, yeah, Swampy died. And I was like, what? No, fuck. And then I heard from people that, yeah, he was a big boy and he was still living a really unhealthy life, probably still partying. I thought he was always going to party. I actually was surprised. I thought he was going to really.
Yeah, I can remember being
busy.
worried about all you boys though, and Smiddy and everyone just going this because I didn't know. Yeah, I knew that shit until I went to Europe. I didn't because Ben, Honey,
This is
and all
the
that was,
Patreon section of the
Yeah.
episode.
all those boys got into it. The Honeys, fucking everyone that was in the skate and bodyboards, and I was like,
Oh,
this
it's
is
just. This
I
is
come
what-
down
did
like a
you,
mother.
You went into the A-class stuff.
No, I hated the fucking music too. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm real opinionated when it comes to fucking music. And
But-
then I had one.
Yeah.
I think,
Just a pill, icky or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, an hour
Average.
later, just overthinking it.
I
It won't work on me. I'm awesome. And then Josh is like, you should have another one. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it just fucking hit. But it was 3 days of like,
Anxiety.
I can remember
Come
I
down.
locked myself in the closet at Josh's house going, well, clearly everyone hates me. I'm a fucking idiot. Like, what a loser. I grew up in Barrytown. I'm a fucking, 3 days of
wow.
just crying. Like,
Wow.
couldn't go to work, just going, what a
That
fucking,
negative
Oh.
mindset.
the worst. But they didn't, I don't know if you guys got that or had come downs that, but my one was
I
fucking,
don't know if I have ever had thoughts
was
like that.
hefty.
I would have the thoughts of like, you're blowing life, bro. What are you doing with yourself?
yeah, it
You're
was
fucking.
a fucking
You're
down.
you shouldn't be doing this. But then like Friday would come around, everyone's like, I've got a bag, and I'm like, sweet, let's go.
Yeah. The high, I mean, it's a crazy fucking high.
That's a great high.
And you love everyone. And then
Mm.
I can remember going, I get the music now.
Yes.
All I could do was this. I even think after the set, I told the DJ my whole story about hating techno dudes. Like,
Oh.
I apologize
the
to this
DJ.
guy's go, yeah. And I'm like,
Yes.
no, I swear, I'm so sorry. Like, just fucking pouring my heart out to him, going, I'm so sorry. I shat on you guys forever.
He's like,
Yeah.
cheers, bro. How's those drugs?
Yeah. 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 The roll in his eyes was incredible. Fuck. But yeah. Drugs are bad unless you're on them. And then they're
Drugs are
fucking
bad,
great.
kids.
Good. They make you do stuff that you know you're not should.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
I think I talked way too much.
No, I think you did good. I think you did
No, you
good.
did good, buddy.
Thanks, everybody. Great
Pro
team effort.
podcaster now.
That was probably a good. It was almost 3 hours. It's probably like 2 hours and 40 minutes, I'd imagine, because we would have started about 20 past 8 after all the technical fuck arounds.
I'm really looking forward to editing.
And then
You won't have to do much. You just do that last edit out bit, and the rest there's no clips to share. Look at his face. It's literally just put this here and click here, eh, Hodge?
so what? So so I'll listen to it like on Spotify in the car.
Yeah.
Do you go? You must get analytics though. Do you have like random
Mhm.
Brazil, France? Like, do you ever get
I
random?
haven't actually checked. I don't get off on that. Hodjo checks.
You must
Hodjo
be able to
checks.
see.
Yeah, demographics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the statistics. Yeah.
Do you ever get just random shit? Hutch?
Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah, we get like random as like views from all sorts of fucking
Uruguay
places.
and fucking Spain.
Yeah.
Heaps from Nelson. That's probably just you just hammering it. No.
And our last three episodes.
I'm annoyed that I'm
probably-
usually the first comment on YouTube or thumbs up. I'm like, come on, people.
Yeah.
They mustn't have it on the little bell thing.
What'd you say,
Yeah,
Hodge?
fuckers. They're useless. But like the last 3 episodes we've had are the best stats we've had, like downloads we've had across Spotify and YouTube since we started, really.
Oh, now you're putting pressure on poor Briggs.
It's better to start low in the new year and build up. So I reckon.
Nah,
No,
you,
we're gonna kick it off because like we get way more views when we have guests. When it's just me and this drone, we only get probably half the views.
our last episode, just me and you did really well.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I would have led
So what
that.
happens when you team up with Bromley and all that? Is that must be obviously cross pollination?
Yeah,
Oh, that did well.
I'm keen to
yeah,
do
that-
that one again. I
Yeah.
reckon we should do that every year with those boys, eh?
Yeah. No, that
Just
did
do a
really
little,
well.
Swapcast.
So I was
Yeah.
loving it for a while, but then it gets too Joel's. It's too heavy. How does he live with?
His
Like,
mind?
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
lot going on, and he
Oh,
knows
yeah.
a lot of political stuff. And I get
Yeah.
real amped up and like personal into it. And we were messaging back and forth. And I was like, I've got it. And then I just ghosted
Keep
him.
away.
And he's like, I don't know if he thought I was offending him or something. I was like, okay, he's just
I love
like
it.
you just think he'd like, does he ever sleep? Like, how can he sleep with the knowledge and the fucking stuff that's
love it.
going? Yeah,
I
it's
love
too
it.
much for me.
No, I love
So I
it.
just get angry. Like, I'm going to change it.
I love it though. Just that local flavor. It's so nice to listen to the guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but he
and just
must be
having change of
24/7
pace.
on the news and political reels to know as much as he knows that's going on.
Oh, I don't know if he'd do that much, but he'd do a little bit of research daily. He gets a lot of his stuff from other podcasts that already do the work for him.
Okay.
So
Hooey.
like if
Hooey,
you listen
hooey,
to
my
No
name.
Agenda, if you listen to No Agenda podcast,
Oh, I haven't
he
done
gets
that.
a lot of the stuff from that, and I listen to that too. So that's good.
He's very well read and very
Oh,
well
yeah.
listened. Yeah.
Yes.
He gets too much of a burden on me. All that shit. Like, that was the first time I watched the news, was just at mum and dad's house. But
Yuck.
like,
Was it horrible?
you can tell
I
they
never
just
watch it.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's just fake. As
And your parents'
fuck.
generation, that's their bread and butter. That's their news.
Yeah, I was like, you do know he's reading a script and like this is paid for. Like he's
Yeah.
like,
What?
Yeah,
You'd be
he's
like,
like,
what? What are you talking
he rang
about?
me like a week ago. He's like, before Jacinda stepped down, he's like, I'm moving to Tweedheads. Fuck this. And I was like, why? And he's like, fuck her. She's fucked the country. Labor fucking sucks. Fuck. And then he rang up. He's like, I don't have to move now. She's fucking quit. National's going to come back. We're all saved. We're all saved. And I was like, stop watching the news. He's like, no. He watches the 5:30 Australian one, the New Zealand one, and then
Oh my god!
Yeah. It's like, stop it. And then he's always quoting Fox News. He's like, well, you said Fox said. I was like, no. Fox News.
Terrifying.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Oh, classic.
All right, boys.
Shout out to Joel and Tim, and thanks, Briggsy. It was awesome to have you on, mate.
It was pretty fun.
I love hearing about the early days of Blaketown. It's when it was shit. It's awesome to have you guys on. We love hearing about it.
It's
Special
been good
place.
listening to you guys too. And even you get older, I still look at that time. I guess starting that, even though it's Blake, it means lots to us, but it's in the big scheme of things. Like when I was talking to Mike Stewart, I was like, I was pretty lame compared, but I still look at it one of the more prouder things I ever did.
Yeah, man.
Because it just brought.
And
I can't take all the credit.
and
Obviously,
it's still
Brock-
going.
Yeah, and everyone.
We're still having
it's
comps
still
every
a
year.
thing. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it makes me sad that vibe's not around again.
It's just a different one, different vibe.
Yeah, but I've got kids. Imagine that. I can't believe my parents let me just get fucking like so young. Just I'm going
cool.
surfing out the coast road when it's ginormous.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, okay, later.
But
It's
would you
fucking
not
nuts.
let your kids do that?
Yeah.
What? Really?
No.
See, I would. If I wish my daughter was a keen surfer. I'd be like, I'll drive you there. I'll take you there. Take my car when you got your license. Just
Yeah, well,
go
so-
surf, whatever.
Eva is getting into it.
Cool.
And is too confident.
Yeah, but the
Dylan.
the ocean will humble her. It humbles everyone.
Yeah, we should did the reverse scorpion in front of me, and it was all my fault. Fuck it. Girls are mean, man. Man, girls are mean.
Yeah.
Like, that's all your fault. Like, no, it wasn't. You completely fucked it all up. And then now she didn't want to go to surfboard ever again because she fucked.
Yeah, well, I ruined Addison's. I put a fear of deep water into Addison because of a wipeout, and it was my fault because I put a GoPro on her with a helmet, and she almost drowned. So,
Yeah, we went out in some sketchy fucking surf by myself with no one else on the coast, like just huge.
Didn't phase me though. Once I got my sea legs, I was like, nah, I'm all good.
So I would run out when Puny was huge. We would run out the blowholes and leap off that far. Have you ever seen that sign? It was like, what can you see? And there's like a rat face. We would leap over that sign into that half surge pool and then you're out the back. You're sweet. Yeah, it's a fucking big jump. It was about
That's
15
fucking cool.
foot jump, but yeah.
That's very fucking. I've always wondered if anybody jumped in there. That's very.
Well,
cool.
there was never any barriers when we were growing up.
Fuck.
Matthew McEwen. There used to be some fucking rad
That's
surfers. Yeah, Doomer and all that
nuts.
used to jump off there. Yeah, that was fuck paddling out at Puny. It's like a kilometre out when it's big.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap this up.
All right.
Thanks,
Hey,
Briggsy.
boys. Peace out. Thanks. Bye bye.
Yeah, brother. Bye.